nutritious meal, and a friendly hello to someone just like your mother, grandfather, or next door neighbor. These seniors are inspiring people with incredible stories to share, and they love to see you. The smiles you get back are priceless. Delivering with Meals on Wheels is easy, and you don't have to drive like me for it to be quick. You can volunteer your lunch break once a week or just once a month. With 1 in 6 seniors facing hunger and many more living in isolation, your lunch break can make a real difference. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down a hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are very, very important. Someday, many years from now, when you're a grown-up, you'll be a man. And when you are, you should be a gentleman. Do you want me to go through it one more time?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If a door's shut, then knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't speak with your mouth full, don't reach across people's plates, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. While we're at it, don't stare, don't use foul language, don't call people names, but do remember people's names. Always share your toys, play nice, and cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give up your seat to anyone who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
New York Jets first-year general manager Darren Moogie settled all family business at the trade deadline, trading away star corner SAUCE Gardner and star defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. In return, the Jets got back 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick, defensive tackle Mazi Smith, and wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. While the Colts and Cowboys are certainly happy with their acquisitions today, the Jets certainly stole the show at the deadline. We will discuss just how well they are set up for the future and if they won those trades. And in other news at the deadline, both Jakobi Meyers and Rashid Shaheed found new homes, while other teams, like the Giants, curiously stood pat, not selling off pieces in a losing season or adding for the future. We will break down the winners and losers Tuesday night trade deadline here before we crack a six-pack with Speedy and make some Week 10 NFL picks on another all-gas, no brakes, high-octane, fully loaded, live Wednesday night edition of Jabba and the Mound.
Give him a significant. They're going to have a ton of money to spend. Why not put it in one of the top 3 offensive players in the league? We're going to be looking at Aaron Judge and saying that he can't win the big game. Michael Jordan said, I played 82 games. You don't see LeBron doing that.
This is a game where you got to go perform.
I told you, Giant fans, that Saquon Barkley had this moment. I'm gonna fight them all. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off. Taking time. Say whatever you want about Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. Really? And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. And back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. 631-672-3108 is the number to call. You're listening to a new show of Jabba and the Mouth. I'm the host, the one and only Errol Mark, my co-host, Flame Man himself. He's the thrower. He's the flame. Not a flamer. I'm just kidding. A flamer. A flame man. Mr. And on the board tonight, and executive producer, whatever you want to call him, the co-host of the show, Speaky TV. He is going to reappear as the producer tonight. There is no Bobby Poop. And you heard him, the executive producer. He fits in some content as he always does. The one and only Mr. Aaron Fish. Remember, you can go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Check out all our shows throughout the week, including Jabba and the Mouth, every single Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. All you have to do to tune in and check out our local listings for all our shows is go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. I want to say something. I am one of the most weirdest people when it comes to doing things before the show. And usually I have a little bit of string cheese, but I haven't done that on the show for a while because Jabba likes to attack me on the way I peel the string cheese or I eat the string cheese.
You don't peel it. You're a serial killer and you eat string cheese like a block of cheese.
Yeah, well, what? I mean, how do you eat cheese? I know you use it
to string cheese, yeah.
To me, it's the same thing as eating a whole bunch of cheese. So, and if anybody has gone to weddings or parties, Jobber, you're going to have a wedding soon, or you're going to have some kind of party. There is a lot of cheese at those parties, and you get to choose what kind of cheese you want to eat. I like all different kinds. I like provolone. I like all of them. So I'm a test taster. Okay. So before the show, I bought a bunch of fruit. So you have these bowls and you have watermelon, you have cantaloupe, you have all the different berries, everything. So what I do is I'm OCD when it comes to fruit. So I put the fruit in different bowls and I choose what I want to eat before I eat them. And I can't eat the same fruit at once because I want to taste how the fruit actually tastes from the bowl.
Wouldn't it be taste testing, not test taste?
Oh, I like test taste. You know, that's my way of using my word play. Okay. So I test taste instead of taste test. So what I do is I put it in different bowls and I have my berries. I got some blueberries, strawberries. I've got some cantaloupe. I've got some honeydew and I have some watermelon. And it's weird because I go through like 7 or 8 bowls. And this is why Brittany always tells me you're a weirdo and this is really sick. Only sick people do this. And I say to her, how could you go through a whole bowl sticking your hand in if I don't want other people sticking their hand in my bowl. I don't want you sticking your hand in a bowl. You work as a nurse. I don't want your hands in my bowl. So what I do is I put it in separate bowls. So if somebody wants a berry, strawberry, anything you want, you can go in the bowl and grab it. So before the show, I had it all set up on my counter. And after my shower, I'm, choosing what I'm going to eat. And the watermelon had this weird, like, potent taste. It doesn't taste like watermelon. So I tasted it and I don't know what it tasted like, but it didn't taste like watermelon. So it tasted bad. So I wanted to go back to Meat Farms to get another bowl because they gave me bad watermelon. But of course, I'm sitting here right now telling you this story because I couldn't, because I had to get rid of some of that watermelon. I had to get ready for our guest tonight. So I don't really put questions together. I just kind of figure out how I want to attack this story and how I want to attack our very special guest. And we will do an announcement in just a few moments, as everybody knows. But I don't know. Does that seem weird? Speedy, does that seem weird?
You could taste test as many things as you want.
But you're a weird person, too, because I've seen you. You've gone to different places around the world and around the country, and you like to taste anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a horse's ass.
No,
you would taste it.
Would not.
You would taste it. You like meat, right?
I wouldn't eat an ass.
but if it's cooked, you might not even know if it's an ass. A cow's ass? You like beef, right?
Yeah, but that's not an ass.
How about you, Jabba? You like taste testing things? Do you like to go to different places if you hear that this particular food is delicious and you want to taste the nice spices in that food? Would you taste it even though you might not like it?
Yeah, that was, I mean, growing up in Nebraska, obviously we didn't, get a lot of seafood and stuff like that. So, that was the nice thing too about like being able to travel is like, hey, you got to try this stuff. And honestly, I never had any preconceived notions because we didn't go anywhere where we had all this stuff. So yeah, trying stuff was really cool and very interesting when you haven't had some of these things. And it was awesome for my son because he was so young, and then coming to see me when, playing in his first place that he came was obviously Florida for spring training, but then like Seattle and places like that where, fish is prevalent. So it to this day, he's still like, he's not a picky eater at all. And I think that's just being able to travel and try those things. But for a while, it was like straight meat and potatoes, like nothing, like I wouldn't even try anything. I don't think I had my first real like cheeseburger probably till I was in my 30s.
Wow, cheeseburgers are my favorite. I've had a
cheese hamburgers, but I just like I love cheese and I like burgers, but I like it was just something about them.
So I come from a Jewish family. My father's family is Jewish, and they don't mix milk with cheese. I mean, milk with beef. You're not allowed to do that. But as I got older, I can't stay away from cheeseburgers. I love cheese and I love meat. You mix it together, I mean, it does mess up my stomach. I have to eat it. So it's not something, and now they make actually cheese that works for kosher and you can actually put it on meat. So you can have a cheeseburger now because it is kosher. So but it has to be a certain kind of cheese. But the problem here is when I go out and I'm trying things, have you ever had rat on a stick? Have you ever had that before?
Rat on a stick?
Rat on a stick.
Like rat?
Yeah, it's rat. Yeah, it's an elegant food over there in Japan. You've never had it before?
No, I can't say. Like I played with Japanese dudes, and I can't say that was a conversation piece of a delicacy that
it's a delicacy. It is a delicacy. How about cricket? Have you ever tried a cricket?
Yeah, I've had that.
So I've had rat on a stick, and what they do is they peel the skin off the rat and they cook it and they put it on a stick. And
I figured that's what it was.
Yeah, but it actually tastes good. You wouldn't even know it was a rat when you're eating it. So I
think though too, when it comes down to like certain foods, if you don't know what it is, like in your mind, because your mind's the strongest thing you have, right? And so if you don't know what it is, then I think you would probably try more stuff than you really would probably give yourself credit for.
Well, they say the biggest muscle in your body is your brain, and sometimes I wonder if that's the biggest muscle in mine.
Yeah. I can't, one thing I can't do, and I've tried it. That's another thing that bothers me too, is everybody that says, I don't like it, but have never tried it. That like bugs me. Like, how do you know? I can't get down with oysters.
I don't eat oysters.
I've tried it with all the concoctions and stuff like that. I can't, the texture, I'm a texture kind of person, and it gets me.
I am too. I do not like oysters. I don't like octopus. That's disgusting. I did try to make them. I don't like it. Ever since I was a kid, and when you score a hat trick, the first thing they throw on, especially in championship games, they throw octopuses. So every time I looked at an octopus, it made me sick.
Would it be octopuses or octopi?
Octopi. Okay, I would say.
I don't know. I was just asking.
I'm not. I'm not a big fan of the taste of it and the texture of it. But I've had mako. Mako is really, really good. If you've never had it, it's actually an elegant, delicious, tasty piece of meat. So
okay, hold on. We're gonna have to go to if Nathan can get in. Can he explain what turtle steak is?
Turtle steak, Nathan.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Java? Okay, so turtle steak is so I had it in Hawaii long time back. It's like It's like so they cook up the like mini what do you call mini turtles, and then I don't know how they bring it, but they cooked up the turtles and they put it into they spread it into like some meat thing. I don't know how they do it, but they call it turtle steak for some reason though.
Well, thank you for that information. Thank you.
It's really good. It tastes like a regular steak.
Are you driving?
Yes, I'm driving.
Concentrate on the road. Thank you, Nathan. Turtle steak, gentlemen. Wonderful.
But I was like, those are lights flashing in beside him.
I mean, I don't want to get him in trouble. Maybe somebody's watching, a cop's watching this show, and it's going to find Nathan on Highway 97 or 990 or whatever the hell he's on, and he's going to get himself into trouble.
Oh, man, pulled over in blue blazer.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. There's a lot going on when it comes to betting scandal in the NBA and throughout professional sports. And we will be talking to the guy behind the NBA scandal quite a few years ago. We will be talking to 14-year NBA referee and author of the book Personal Foul. Tim Donaghy will be joining us on the show a little bit later. So it's going to be fun. It's the first time he's coming on a show. He's been doing a little bit of back and forth banter on what's going on with the Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Jones situation. We've heard Rasheed Wallace come out and say some things. A couple NBA players came out and said that referees have been a part of these scandals for a long time. Donaghy was the only one getting caught, and we will get into his career as a referee, the back end of the story, and what he thinks what is going to be the buildup of this story as it starts to grow legs. The FBI is investigating it more. I'm sure there's going to be more players announced in this scandal. So I'm sure Donaghy, who's been on quite a few shows in America so far over the last couple of weeks, I'm interested to hear what he's got to say, and it's going to be a fun interview. He's never been on a show, like I said, so it'll be fun. So definitely stay tuned at 8:45 as Tim Donaghy will be joining us on Jabba and the Mouth. But a lot to get into today, and the New York Jets are behind it all. Trade deadline was yesterday. The New York Jets made moves at the trade deadline on Tuesday, sending both Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams away in two different massive deals. First, the Jets shocked the league in trading Sauce Gardner. Yes, Ahmed Gardner, if you want to, I know there's a lot of people that don't want to call him Sauce anymore. Ahmed Johnson, I keep saying Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-round picks and their second-year receiver, Mitchell. The Jets only had to pay $15 million to Sauce's deal by trading him. Then the Jets made Jerry Jones's day, trading the Cowboys defensive tackle Quinnen Williams for a first-round pick and a second-round pick and a third-year defensive tackle in Smith. SNY's Connor Hughes reports that Quinnen requested a trade 3 different occasions with the Jets for over 2 years. The Athletic reports that the Jets were unwilling to trade with any AFC East rivals, despite getting decent offers. The Jets said that Garrett Wilson was the only player that was completely untouchable in trades. The Jets held on to Breece Hall and Jermaine Johnson after not getting a good enough offer for either player, which was reported to be a third-round pick for Hall and a second-round pick for Johnson. Everybody that is a Jet fan, we're going crazy about this story. The Jets finally make noise at the trade deadline, maybe not in a good way in some people's minds, but in my thought and the way I categorize what has happened with the New York Jets, the Jets right now are rebuilding. They have a new coach that a lot of fans don't like for some reason. I have no idea why. After a half a season, they're just throwing him away. This is a guy that is their own. This is a guy that was drafted by the Jets. This is a guy that was successful as a player with the Jets. We all know this was not Aaron Glenn's roster. This was Robert, a.k.a. Bambi Sala's roster. That's whose roster it was. All these players, Quinnen Williams, who wasn't even drafted by Joe Douglas in that regime. He was drafted with the regime before that. He was the only guy still a part of that regime on the roster. Sauce Gardner, who is a sensational player, but over the past year and a half, has not played, as far as I'm concerned, in PFF ways as an elite corner. This year, he was ranked in the 20s in PFF. Last year, it was closer to the teens. He's an elite corner when you look at the size and the ability that this kid has. But the things that he does on the field, yanking on jerseys and maybe not playing as hard as you would expect a top corner to play, it makes you worry if you're going to pay a guy $30 million, that kind of money, and not get the most out of him. Aaron Glenn obviously didn't think that he would fit the culture in that locker room. And I've heard through the grapevine that he hasn't been a culture setter in that locker room. Then there's Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams, who I have a lot of respect for. He's been a top defensive lineman in the league for the last 5-6 years. Got a lot of money from the Jets. He had one great season with the Jets. I remember he had over 10 sacks. It reminds me of quite a few defensive players in the past. And we'll have Quentin Copels on the show, and I'm sure he knows who I'm speaking about. I will give you one of those guys, Muhammad Wilkerson. Muhammad Wilkerson had one great season for the New York Jets and then got an extension. I remember there were a lot of New York broadcasters that said, if they don't sign Muhammad Wilkerson, I'm done with the Jets. Well, they signed him. They gave him a big-time deal worth about $87 million. He was one of the highest-paid defensive linemen, and then he broke his fibula. He was never the same player. And again, going back to the Jets and the back end of the New York Jets, there's a lot to not like about this organization. One of them, well, your owner's name is Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson. That by itself scares me when we're talking about a guy's name, Woody, and his last name, Johnson. He hasn't done anything for this organization as far as put the right guys in position to succeed. He has been the voice of reason when it comes to picking up players and selling them off. He's also a guy that opened his mouth so far this season and thrown his starting quarterback under the bus. You don't want to hear that from your owner. Because when you have an owner that opens his mouth to the media, what else is he telling what else is he telling the media? The New York Jets are an organization that is the laughingstock of the NFL. Longest tenure of teams not to make the playoffs. And when you look at that, 15 years not in the playoffs and rooting for this team who has some of the best fans. I won't lie about this. I attack Jet fans, but the Jet fans are reliable when it comes to going to games, showing up, and rooting for this horrible team called Gang Green, which, by the way, they should change the name. It's a horrible name. It's probably one of the worst things about it. Sauce Gardner is a guy that is dating a rapper named Ice Spice, okay? During the offseason, it was big in the tabloids. As important as what the Jets did in the offseason, that is what I heard about the New York Jets. Hey, guess what, everybody? Sauce is dating Ice Spice. Who cares? And the fact right now is Sauce is going to a team that gave the New York Jets 2 first-round picks. Now, we don't know what those picks are going to be. We don't know what Darren Mookie is going to do with those picks. We don't know if Darren Mookie can actually draft. We don't know. But what I do know about this team and about this coaching staff is Steve Wilkes will not be here next year. I can guarantee that. And this team of misfits, and I mean misfits because you have Breece Hall coming out and pretty much ordering the Jets to trade him at the trade deadline, saying he wants out. That's why the Jets didn't trade him. And then Quincy Williams came out after his brother was traded to the Cowboys and said, some interesting things and posted stupid things. And that's why the Jets are sitting him out as a backup linebacker. This guy was the Jets' best linebacker going into the season. And now he's a secondary player that might not even start for the rest of the season. Why? Because he's got a big mouth. And the Jets have always let these players speak their mind. Not anymore. Aaron Glenn does not want his players going out there and abusing the media. Over the last couple of years, Robert Saleh has allowed these idiots to go out there, speak their mind, and throw the organization under the bus like a clown, like a circus clown. And the New York Jets have always been looked at as a circus. And Aaron Glenn does not want to be looked at like that anymore. And I don't think Darren Moogie wants that either. Now, Woody Johnson needs to stay away. He needs to keep his mouth shut. That is something that they need to figure out how to control. But what the Jets did at the trade deadline was a slam dunk. Guys, think about this. I don't care what players, Mitchell or Smith, those guys might not be a part of the team at the end of the season. I don't know. Well, Mitchell's young. He's 23 years old. He'll have a chance to make the team next year. He was a second-round talent. He could still be very, very good. We'll see. The Jets will develop him. The Colts did not because they didn't need him. They had Pittman. They had Downs. They have a bunch of good wide receivers there. They didn't need Mitchell. They drafted him in the second round last year. It didn't work. But with these picks, it sets the Jets up very well going into the next two off seasons. And now they have to find a franchise quarterback. They have to. It is a must to find a franchise quarterback in the next two seasons. Now, I don't know if it's going to be in this year's draft because the Jets screwed up again. They beat Cincinnati at the tail end of the game where they were the bona fide number one pick. And then all of a sudden at the trade deadline, they move Sauce, they move Quinnen, and pretty much tell you, we give up on the season. We're waving the flag. The season is over for us. Then why would you win that game if you know the season is over? That was the stupidity of this organization. I remember. Now, thank God Trevor Lawrence is not a Jet after what we've seen over the last couple of years with the Jaguars. But the Jet fans were pissed off when they beat the Rams. I mentioned that on the show about a week ago because they lost out on Trevor Lawrence. Instead, they got Zach Wilson, and we all know what he was doing with his mother's best friend. It's a problem when you bring in the wrong guys to an organization that's been a laughingstock. We look at so many organizations that have been laughingstocks. Cleveland, laughingstock. Cincinnati, laughingstock. I could go on and on and on. Miami, laughingstock. There are like 6 or 7 teams in the NFL that are successful and have been successful over the last 25 years. And you all know who they are. Because ownership, success of leaving in place the right coaching staff. That is what makes teams successful. The Jets, here in New York, they don't know how to hold on to coaches, GMs, you name it, assistants. They have one guy that they've held on to, and that's because he's the owner of the team. It doesn't, and even him, he wasn't there because he decided to move to England when Donald Trump went on to take over for the United States. And his brother Chris was running the show. It's an organization that's been a joke. And me as a Jet fan, I'm wearing a Danny Dimes jersey because I just got it. It's a Colts jersey. I know Fish doesn't like it, and that's why I love it. And I got it made, and I will show you what it says in the back. My problem here is not what Darren Muji. There is nothing that tells me, yes, Fish, thank you. My thoughts to what Darren Muji has done at the trade deadline is not bad. It's good. Because what he is trying to do is send away the bad in that locker room. Now, Quinn Williams didn't want to be there. We've heard through the grapevine for the last 2 years, he didn't want to be there. Breece Hall doesn't want to be there. So the Jets are going to do what they need to do in sign and trade. I guarantee you they're going to sign him, or they're going to, what do they call that, Speedy?
Franchise tag.
Franchise tag Breece Hall in the offseason just to piss him off. And they're going to move him. They're going to do what they want with him. Dangle him around until somebody gives them what they want, which is a third-round pick. The Jets have done the right thing. Jet fans, sit back and just smile. Did you think that this was going to be a fun season? Did you think that this was going to be a great season? Do you really think that this team can compete right now against the New England Patriots and what they put together with Vrabel? You had a chance to hire Vrabel. If you wanted Vrabel, you shouldn't have let him leave New Jersey. He left and he went to the Patriots. If you wanted him so bad, you should have given him whatever he wanted. And that's why I think Aaron Glenn was the right fit for the right organization. He wants to be here. He wants to win here. He wants to show fans that they can win here. Why is everybody attacking what they have done at a trade deadline that was wide open? And they got 3 first-round draft picks and a second-rounder for the next 2 years. Why is there so much sorrow and so much craziness right now in Jetland? Because the Jet fans should sit back and shut up. Zipper your mouths. Put a beak on it. I don't know how you put a beak on it, but you could do something like that. I mean, kiss something. Put a sausage in your mouth. Speedy likes that, right?
I do.
The problem right now is going to be what the offseason is going to lie with this new regime. Are the Jets going to make the right move? And what the right move is this offseason is deciding if there is a quarterback in this class they really, really want. And is that quarterback going to take this team to the next level, which they've been looking for the last 50 years? And I don't know if there's one. I believe Fernando Mendoza is a guy that I like. But does that mean he's going to be a franchise player? I don't know. And fans, you don't know. Because once you go to the NFL, it's a fast-paced game. It's different than the NCAA. This is not playing the SEC, the Big Ten, or a Pac-12. This is different. It is different. The speed of the game is completely different. Ask Zach Wilson. He had no idea what he was walking into. He didn't know what the media was going to do to him, because as soon as he decided to speak to the media and say the things that he said and show up to Broadway shows and find out who his uncle is, he owns JetBlue. I mean, there's so many things that you wonder with the New York Jets that more than meets the eye about an organization that has been nothing but a joke and a laughing stock of everybody. Think about it. Rich Eisen is a Jet fan. He was excited about Aaron Rodgers. How quick was that over? How quick was that marriage? It was done in a game, really, in 4 plays. Aaron Rodgers' career with the New York Jets ended in 4 plays. And I don't care about the season they played after that. It ended in 4 plays. And then when we look at some of the things that the Jets have done over the years, trading Sam Darnold for a second and a fourth, where I thought Joe Douglas should have kept that and held on to Sam Darnold. What did the Jets give Sam Darnold when he was here? Nothing. They gave him nothing. No weapons. Nada. So what did they do? They brought in a BYU quarterback, which I agree. I said that I thought he was going to be good. A quarterback that didn't last more than a season, where everybody said, this guy isn't the right guy. Christian Hackenberg wasn't the right guy. None of these guys, but you had guys that might have been somewhat successful if you held on to them for a significant portion of time. Geno Smith being another. Seattle had a fun time with him. He was up for an MVP. He was a top 6, top 7 player for an MVP the year that he played well over there with Pete Carroll. That's why Pete decided to bring him in over there with Vegas. And now look at Sam. Look at the success Sam has had with Minnesota and now Seattle. Just earned himself a $100 million contract. Sam is happy. And when he left the New York Jets, I could only remember some of the things that he said on social media that pretty much settled him very happily to go to Carolina, because he didn't want to be here anymore. He didn't want to deal with the media. He didn't want to deal with the fans. He didn't want to deal with the abuse that he was getting when he wasn't doing the things that they wanted. And that's win. And this team knows nothing about it. Now, Quinton Williams. And I'm going to finish up here very quickly because I'm sure you guys got your take. What was the Jets' record with Quinton Williams in the lineup? And I'm going to tell you what the record was. They were 33, if I'm not mistaken, and 75. 33, and even at 30, in the 30 wins mark and in the 70 lose mark, to tell me that this guy was something to cry about when the Jets decided to move on from him, I'm not crying. He's not a winning player. He doesn't win. And Ahmed, a.k.a. Sauce Gardner, what did they win with him? He has been here for 3 years. Right? 3 years, Speedy?
This is year 4 for him.
So 3 full years with the Jets. This was year 4 for him. He got a contract in a 3-year span. A big one. And what did he do? He was a 2-time All-Pro player. He was a 3-time Pro Bowl player. He shouldn't have made the Pro Bowl last year because I thought there were a lot of different wide receivers that beat him to the punch. He didn't play well at the tail end of the season, and he had a lot to say to the media at the end of the season. He is not a good fit here as far as Aaron Glenn is concerned. And only time will tell you if Aaron Glenn is the right guy here as well. I believe he is, but he needs to put the right personalities, and he needs to put the team in position the way he sees fit to win.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you look at a team that's trying to get these types of personalities together. They sign the big names. I think the Jets, the impression of it was, okay, we want to avoid the drama that was going throughout the offseason that you see other teams do with these holdouts and stuff like that. And the Sauce Gardner contract and Garrett Wilson contract happened literally 5 days apart. And I think because of that, they wanted to make that kind of thing work, knowing that, all right, at the start of the year, were we thinking a playoff team? No. But were we thinking a team that still could compete? Yes. And obviously the Jets got off to this rocky start, but like you were saying, Errol, all year, they've been in every game besides the Bills blew them out and Dallas beat them by double digits. But even that wasn't that bad either. The Jets still played very well. But at the same time, you're not going to turn down values that are this good in trades. Quinton Williams, we knew Dallas was shopping him for the offseason because of the whole Micah Parsons rumor that you guys talked about months ago, that they were going to want Quinton Williams in a deal potentially for Parsons. But the Jets were not one player away. They were not one Micah Parsons away from being a championship competitive team. So there's no way they were going to pull the trigger on that. But there's going to be the market out there. And I was always saying, if you could sell high on Quinton Williams, go for it. Like, if the deal is there, make it happen. Mazi Smith hasn't been great in the NFL so far, but maybe he could be a solid plug in a different scheme. We saw that Aaron Glenn replaced all these reaches that the Lions drafted as defensive tackles the previous year to make it working for a minimal defense. And same kind of thing with Sauce Gardner. Like, yeah, you paid him $30 million. I thought he deserved it at the time. Has he been amazing this year? No. Has he been a top 10 corner? Probably still. Yeah, I would say so. But you're not turning down 2 first-round picks from a team in the Colts that's been desperate for corners for years. The Jets, any Jets fan that's mad at this cannot be mad at it when the Jets could get good assets to build a team. You don't win Super Bowls on 3 stars on one unit and be able to win with just like average to below average depth players after that, unless you have a really, really good generational coach like an Andy Reid or a Bill Belichick. Maybe you can get away with that. No other team can get away with it.
But you don't know if you have a generational coach right now, because Aaron Glenn's in position right now with a roster that wasn't his. So you have to take a step back and realize this is a rookie coach. He's never done this before. He's been a defensive coordinator and a cornerback coach his whole career, all the way through with the Lions, and he was working with the Saints and Sean Payton. You got to give this guy a little bit of time. It takes 3 years to build a roster. It does. It takes 3 years. And if you don't have the quarterback, you don't have anything.
Okay, you say 3 years. Why 3 years?
Okay. So the first year is always the off year because you're still moving towards figuring out what players fit your scheme. Okay. So after the first year, you know, this guy's not going to fit. This guy's not going to fit in the locker room. So you move them. Now you got to bring guys in. It takes a year to get these guys to commit to your defense and your offense. And that takes a full year to do because the offense in a game is a little bit more faster from playing college football. So that takes a little bit more time to figure out how they're going to fit in your scheme, even though you believe they're a perfect fit. And then the third year, you got to make sure that your quarterback that you've had or you've built up to be your guy is comfortable in that offense with the style that you're going to run and the players that you have surrounding him, and make sure that you have the right protection. And Fish knows this when it comes to offensive lines. If you don't have an offensive line, you don't have nothing. That's the way offenses worked in the NFL. You can ask anybody. You ask right now, the Eagles, why are they so successful? Their offensive line. You ask the Lions, why are they so successful? Because of the offensive line. You go down to Kansas City, why they won all those Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes. It was because of their offensive line. That is the fact, guys. And if you don't have the right guys surrounding your young quarterback and the quarterback you believe is your franchise, you're not winning nothing.
And the Jets' offensive line, pass blocking wise, there was advanced that. I saw it in the Weapons Hot group. They were actually number 1 going into Week 8 in terms of some kind of advanced pass blocking metric. So it shows that they have that part of it down. Obviously, Garrett Wilson's had a great year. So you have those part of it's going for your offensive side of the ball. But again, the defense is something that you still thought, and I fell for it too. I drafted them in fantasy in our Job South League. That it was still going to be a strength for them. And,
I didn't.
Yeah. And with the pass rush, with the secondary that they thought they had on paper, it looked to be the case. Obviously, that wasn't the case because obviously Sauce was.
You know what scared me about the Jets defense, right? After what they gave Sherwood, that kind of money. Okay. They gave Sherwood a $40 million contract, and I was like, what did Jamie and Sherwood? He's been on this show before. We've had him on the show. He had nothing to say when we were interviewing. I pull so many tricks out of the hat when I have guests that don't really speak. And this guy, I could pull 6 or 7 tricks and maybe do a tumble twist, and I still couldn't get anything out of this man. So why did I believe he was the cornerstone of a defense that really didn't know who they were? After, there was a guy that was so detrimental important to that defense who's no longer in the NFL. You know what I'm talking about, Speedy? C.J. Mosley.
Errol, that was the point I brought up at the beginning of the season. And Speedy, you remember we had this conversation that it doesn't matter that his skills were declining. You need a captain of the defense. Now, Sherwood has been a league average linebacker. According to PFF, he's 35th out of 82 qualifying linebackers. Ooh. He's fine. But the problem is you can have a guy who's fine at linebacker if you have a captain of the defense playing next to him. And now C.J. Mosley's not there. This is a guy who is experienced enough to set guys up in the right place. And the example I used back when we first talked about it was Antonio Pierce as a Giants fan. When the Giants won those championships, they traded for Antonio Pierce. He became the quarterback of the defense, they say, at that Mike linebacker position. And having that communication, and Errol, I don't think I was with you when Sherwood came on, but if it was hard to communicate with him on the air, I can imagine he's not a great communicator on the field either. And that's the biggest thing you need to be able to do. You need that, and you need a guy like that in the secondary to make sure the secondary strength is set correctly as well in the NFL level and in like D1 college and stuff like that. They don't have the middle of the field figured out. It doesn't matter how good Sherwood is. He's fine. They don't have a leader there, and it's killed them this season in the worst way.
And they're secondary. I mean, the safety play. Now, they have a young kid that I really, really like, and I'm starting to see that he might have potential from Alabama. He looks like he's going to be decent. But everybody else in that secondary, you question, Michael Carter didn't fit in this defense. This guy was one of the best slot defenders in all of football for the last 3 years under Robert Saleh. He went from great to horrible. And now he's going to an Eagles team that really doesn't need him, and they're a bag of riches. I mean, think about it. Phillips. I mean, who's better than the Eagles right now sitting? And I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm loving it. So I'm not going to complain about it. The Jets love to make trades with the Eagles, and the Eagles like to make trades with the Jets. So I'm not going to cry about it. I'm both a Jets and Eagles fan. So, but it bothers me when you sit back and you realize the Jets have been an organization that really depends on certain players in a defense as much as they do in an offense. They haven't had a guy that can quarterback, and they don't really have a leader in that defense anymore. And that secondary, let's be honest. When you talk about secondary captains and you give Sauce Gardner the captaincy going into the last 2 seasons, I don't care what he is, an all-pro, pro ball player. I could care less. When he's not out there talking to the other corners and he's pretty much going on the sidelines and throwing his helmet and complaining to the coaches that he's not seeing or the other guys are not in the right positions, and he's not in the right positions in the red zone, which the Jets are one of the worst at, well, it tells me that Sauce Gardner is not an elite corner as much as we thought he was.
Yeah, I also think you look at a lot of defenses that have won in recent years, too. Like, sometimes you can get away with it with good coaching combined with maybe 1 or 2 star players, too. And you could see the value was still there for the advanced metrics for Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams was a guy that, you've said it in other years, Errol, sometimes gets double teamed so he doesn't get the sack totals as much, but still was productive in other areas. Same kind of thing with Sauce. Sauce has a physical role as a corner that it's hard to find. Now, he's had issues with effort tackling and stuff like that too, but clearly the Colts and a lot of other teams around the league did not think that way. And same kind of thing with Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams was only going to be sold high because of the quickness and the advanced metrics that work for
Now,
him.
he fits in the Colts defense. He really does, like a glove. The Colts needed a number 1 corner, and he fits there. Now, we'll see how he plays under a different regime. He plays with a better defense and with an elite team. We'll see if Sauce Gardner goes out there and gives it his all, because he hasn't given his all for the last 2 seasons. He really hasn't. And any Jet fan that has seen this guy play in the first 2 years and try to correct themselves on what Sauce Gardner has been the final 2 years with his Jets career, you can wonder if he really wanted to go out there and play or just wanted to be on commercials or go sign autographs or be there with a superstar rapper and show up to all her concerts in the offseason and not show up to certain practices and certain OTAs he should have showed up to. I'm speaking the truth here. And I don't know Sauce Gardner in a hole in the wall. And yes, Nathan, I know you know him. I know you posted up the pictures. I know you know his brother. And I would love to get his brother on the show because I would love to hear his take on the Sauce Gardner situation. Sauce Gardner, here's another problem that I don't like about Sauce. Sauce, after he got traded, what did he say, Speedy? Do you remember what he said?
I do not.
Well, he said something in 4 words. So long, New York.
It's up on the screen for you, Errol, on the top of the screen. I got the tweet right there. New York, it's been real. It's been real. Green heart.
All right, so if you're a number 1 pick and you're a star with a team and you're an organization and you just got traded and fans are upset, and you know fans are upset because they love you, and you have one of the hottest jersey sales for the New York Jets. As a matter of fact, I think he was number 1 this year. So how do you say 4 words and a heart, and that's all you say to the fans? Why don't you do it? Daniel Jones was being ridiculed by the Giant fans, and then when he got let go and pretty much thrown to the wolves, and he goes to Minnesota, and now he's with the He's with the great and powerful Indianapolis Colts. Because I say great and powerful because Danny Dimes is winning, baby. He wrote a whole story to the Giant fans, telling the fans goodbye and thank you for showing up to games and supporting him for all the things that he tried to do for the fan base. That's what you want to hear from your superstar player. And what did you hear from Sauce Gardner? Nothing. Immaturity, and it shows you how much love he had over here for the Jet fans. And Jet fans, you shouldn't have sorrow. You shouldn't be upset. You should smile and wave goodbye, because that's what I'm doing to Sauce Gardner. Enjoy. I hope you win a Super Bowl. I hope you go to the Super Bowl with the Colts, because we're going to be there at the Super Bowl, and I'd love to interview you and ask you your true opinion on why you didn't post up a nice letter to the Jet fans. Because
okay,
to me,
so let me ask you this, Daryl, as an athlete, why do you think we owe that to you?
I'm not saying you owe anything to me.
I'm saying as a fan base, I'm asking you, say, why did he only write that comparable to some other people that there's been a lot of dudes that have wrote short little excerpts that have kind of been the same thing, but hit on the same way. Do you like it? I'm just wondering from your perspective, like,
I'm gonna give it to you.
Do you feel like we owe that as the athlete because you took us in the draft, that we give you some sort of kumbaya as we leave and whatever? And obviously there's more to it than that. In accepting and being a part of the culture and the community, like, I understand that. But as far as that being said, like, from his perspective, like that, like, do you feel like he has to do more? Like, that's an obligation that it owes you guys?
Here's my opinion, and we have to move on. But here's my opinion, Chaba. As a fan, and I'm a media guy, so I can't tell you, even though I root for the Jets, I could care less what Sauce Gardner says or does. I really don't care. But there are young kids out there that look up to him. They look up to him. And he goes to these autograph signings and says that I'm going to be a Jet for life. I want to be a Jet for life. And you get traded. And instead of showing sorrow and being upset, you just pretty much wave the flag and say, a couple of words. And as a young kid and a person that rooted for a team your whole life and seen so many bad football, and you were finally a guy that was going to resurrect that position because Darrelle Revis is retired, and you have Aaron Glenn, who was the last great corner on the with this organization that was drafted by the organization, and that's all you put out there. I do. I believe that it as a professional and as a guy that fans look up to, young kids look up to, you have to go out there and give them some kind of respect and show them that you loved playing here, that you adored the young fans, and that you're sorry that it didn't work out with the New York Jets. And that's my opinion towards Sauce Gardner. Quinn Williams posted up something nice to the Jet fans.
Yeah, no, I just wanted your take on it as, like, obviously both sides as a fan, like, kind of where, because I don't know if you guys saw the video of the little kid of the dad, his dad telling him that Sauce got traded and, like, he started crying and stuff like that. So I understand that part of it. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of what he's, in these signings, what he's saying, because that's obviously, if you go out and say this to that type of kid, it's things that they're never going to forget. And then they're going to hold that against them. I mean, there's so many stories that I think we've all heard where it's like, oh, he got traded and then beat us, and now I hate that team or whatever. I mean, there's so many stories like that. But I always find it interesting that, like, how you guys perceive of somebody leaving that was drafted from the organization and doesn't give whatever you felt like it is. Because, I mean, there's really no job description, like I've said before, but there is part of a responsibility as somebody that has paid their time there, but also the people that have paid their time to watch you, and in the respect factor of both. So I understand.
Outside of the Jets, teams were active before the trade deadline on Tuesday. The Eagles started the fireworks early, boosting their defense by trading for edge rusher Phillips from the Dolphins and cornerback Carter from the Jets and Alexander from the Ravens. The Patriots were also active, but also shedding veterans more than adding pieces. The Pats moved on from safety Mr. Duggar. I couldn't stand him and could never stay healthy. Trading him to the Steelers and Ed Rusher White to the 49ers, freeing up cap room. The Jaguars traded for wide receiver Jakobi Meyers from the Raiders after the Gremlin is out on IR. Not surprised, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Hunter is out for a significant amount of time, probably the season. So sayonara, as I told Quinnen Williams, no interceptions, and he will not have an interception this year. I can't wait to hear that one. The Seahawks also added an impact receiver as they added Saints deep threat Shaheed. So he's part of my fantasy team, so I'm happy about that. In some smaller moves, the Bears added edge rusher Tryon, from the Browns, and the Ravens got defensive tackle Jones from the Titans, and the Cowboys added linebacker Wilson from the Bengals. Most playoff contending teams didn't make any moves with teams like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Lions, the Buccaneers, just hoping their guys getting healthy will provide a spark. GM Joe Shane and the Giants also stayed pat. Well, for you Giant fans who thought you were getting another wide receiver here, that didn't work. And there were guys from Miami that were available, and if they had any chance to get one of those guys, they should have made the move at the trade deadline because it's going to be a little bit more expensive in the offseason. That's my opinion. The Giants are not a playoff team. The Giants aren't making the playoffs. We knew that after the Broncos game. If they win the game, I think the Giants go heavily after a wide receiver because they believe they have a chance. I don't think they believe it. I think the Giants are going to stay pat, and they did stay pat, and realize that this team has an opportunity next year to make a run if Jackson Dart plays a full season and has the right protection at the offensive line. So that was my opinion with the New York Giants for you Giant fans. So don't be sad. We'll see what if Cam comes back healthy, Mr. Scatterboo, and see how this team is going to fall together in the offseason. Is Joe Shane the guy, or do they part ways with him? Is Dable the guy, or do they part ways with him? As far as the Patriots are concerned, the fact that they shedded off veteran players, very interesting. I thought that the Patriots were going to add more pieces. I thought that the Patriots have a chance to come out of the AFC this year. The emergence of Drake May, he's been playing well, and they're getting more than I thought they were going to get from Diggs this year. I thought that this defense was one of the elite defenses in the league. Vrabel has really brought that potential, what we've seen with the Titans when he was there, and what I believe that this team is all about, and what this organization was all about when Belichick was there, was defense, defense, defense. And now I think they've believed that they have a quarterback there for a long, long time. The team that made the most moves, besides the Jets making those big moves, is the Eagles. The Eagles are the ones that made the slam dunk moves, bringing Phillips in, who is bona fide number one linebacker. You can move him all over the line. He can pass rush. He can run stop. He can do so many different things. Dean has not been healthy all season long. Now you can kind of put him in that Dean position if Dean does not stay healthy for the rest of the year, and he could be a quarterback of that defense. Absolutely could. And Carter maybe just needed to be moved to a team that was going to use him better in a scheme, which obviously they run great schemes over there with one of the best defensive coordinators, one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. I think that the Eagles have put themselves very well in position to go and repeat for a Super Bowl. The other teams, as far as Jakobi Meyers going to the Jaguars, I don't think that's a big deal. He is going to go to free agency. He's going to make himself some money. He is not going to be over there with the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence losing Gremlin is not a big deal. So fans buying his jersey, I don't think we're going to be talking about him very long, like I've predicted. He's in a lot of commercials. He's done a lot of video game commercials as well. I've seen him on different skits, and I could care less what Travis Hunter is doing in the offseason. He's going to have to figure out what he is as an NFL player. The Bears, interesting move. I think the Bears are going to contend to make the playoffs. I think they're going to figure out, they've got to figure out, obviously certain positions and how they fit to this defense. I think this defense is one of the better defenses in the league, top 12 defenses in the league. Adding the pieces that they did, they're not big moves. They're not slam dunk moves, but they're moves that could fit the scheme and the way they like to run their scheme. So I don't think it's a bad move. And it's grabbing possibilities to succeed. As far as the Cowboys are concerned, the Wilson move makes you itch your head. I don't get it. And again, the Quinnen Williams move to give up what they gave up for Quinnen Williams, that makes you scratch your head too. Is this going to make them a contender? Does this make their defense an elite defense? No. Does Quinnen Williams make them a better defense? Yes. I don't know. I think the two teams that were successful at the trade deadline were the two teams I root for, the Jets and Eagles.
Yeah, Cowboys are definitely a head scratcher for me because Logan Wilson was a linebacker that was good for a while with the Bengals, but sometimes with middle linebackers, you see them really have a good 3 or 4 year peak in today's game, especially when they're a speed-oriented linebacker, and really fell off. There were games with the Bengals defense where he was benched. If you're getting benched on the Bengals defense this year, you know some things on the downturn for that kind of thing. Logan Wilson was great for 3 years, but not the same case anymore. And Quinnen Williams, well, obviously he's a nice player. They have already a big contract invested to a defensive tackle already in Odejua. Odejua got paid $20 million a year in the offseason. So you're getting two positions of the same type on all your money. We've seen how that's worked for the Bengals. We've seen how that's worked for Miami. Sneaky good, too, that I like the Bears. I think one you mentioned. Tryon is a good second pass rusher. He was good in Tampa for a while alongside Shaq Barrett in that blitz-happy defense. And I think it was just a bad fit in Cleveland with a Jim Schwartz type attacking 4-3 defense. I think he goes back over there to the Bears where he plays alongside Montez Sweat. I think that's a big good move. In San Francisco with the Niners too. Keon White was a guy that I thought was a first round pick at the time. I know Jeff really liked him when the Patriots drafted him as well. He's a guy that's more of a power rusher to complement Bryce Huff, who's more of a speed rusher. And Michael Williams is a little more of a speed rusher too. They need to replace in production with Nick Bosa hurt if they want to keep that defense afloat. Because like you've been saying all year, Errol, their offense is just Christian McCaffrey, and really that's it. So they're going to have to really win on their defense on that front. Ravens, I don't love necessarily. They already had enough defensive tackle. They need more edge. And the Eagles, like you said, that's a really good move because they can put DeJean now at safety, which is their free safety spot. That's probably their biggest weakness in their defense. That gives them a lot more versatility.
Well, also the injured Dean. Dean has been a big part of that defense. If Dean can't stay healthy, they can shift that linebacker core. And if Phillips could run that defense, he ran the Dolphins defense. So he could be a captain of a defense. So we'll see. I know he's an edge rusher, Fish, but he was drafted as a linebacker, and they're not going to use him as an edge rusher. They're going to use him as a linebacker.
Yeah, Nick Fangio's going to blitz him in different areas too. Like the reason why the Eagles were successful is they were able to rush the passer without blitzing, but they didn't have the depth this year to do it as much because obviously they lost Sweat in the offseason. Brandon Graham retired, but now he's come back, and Bryce Huff didn't work out over there, so they needed a more upside guy. Phillips, before he got hurt in 2023 against the Jets, was probably the best edge rusher in that draft, and he was going to get a big contract from the Dolphins most likely the next year if they just paid Chubb, but it just didn't work out. He hasn't recovered since the Achilles. Then he got re-injured last year, but a team like the Eagles, he doesn't have to play as many reps. You saw their outside linebackers do a lot last year.
Yeah, like I've started watching the deadline a little bit more in football. And I always wondered, like, when it gets to the deadline and how different sports are different on how they, add and subtract to their rosters, lineups, however you want to say it. Is football more like a long-term, like, perfect place for them to fit instead of like a Band-Aid to fix something? Or
most of them are Band-Aids. A lot of these defensive players that were traded are Band-Aids. Now, some of them are year 3 players. Like Tryon just signed a new deal. I think he got a 2-year deal. Like I said, Keon White is a year 3 player that I thought was a first round pick. The Patriots drafted in the second round. That's what most of those moves would be. Like Errol's saying, Myers is probably a rental for the Jaguars, but I think is a good fit for a slot receiver type because Brian Thomas is more of a physical possession type receiver.
And I also read that the reason why they made the move for Phillips is because of the Dean situation. They don't know if Dean is going to be healthy. And Dean has been out and up and out and up. They need something that, if need be, they got to shift the line or shift the linebacking core. They can put him on the outside. They can put him on the inside. I know what he is as a pass rusher, Fish, but they don't really need pass rush help. They have not had problems in that category. They need help when it comes to the back end and really the depth. They don't have the depth they had last year.
So I gotta disagree. That's not. I'm looking. They got Zach Bond, who was Defensive Player of the Year last year, basically for linebacker at least. He was the best linebacker in the league. He was All Pro. He's the other middle linebacker in that defense. They don't need to move him to middle linebacker. They also got Jaelen Hunt, who can play linebacker too. But they're gonna put Hunt on one side and they're gonna put Phillips on the other. They just haven't gotten a consistent edge rush this year. Now the Dean's always hurt. That was the thing with him. That's why he fell in the draft. Everybody knew he was a first-round talent coming out of Georgia, right? That stacked defense. And he fell to the third round. Everyone's like, why? And then it came out during the draft. He's a medical. And he's been a medical his whole career. When he's out there, he's great, right? But he's not out there. And the best ability, availability. I wanted to highlight, before we finish this segment, there's a guy that I got to bring this up. And Errol, you know I love bringing this up because we made a bet earlier in the season, before the season, about the Seahawks and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Well, we didn't
He's
make
got
a
a
bet.
running mate.
You didn't want to make the bet, or we didn't.
That's not true.
The bet. Speedy,
We didn't decide on what the pun. We didn't decide on the terms.
You said you were doing it, though.
We did say we were doing it. Either way, the best thing you can get, a really good receiver.
Don't
that's
worry,
getting double
Java. You're not
covered.
going to have to eat that popcorn because I'm not going to say anything yet, but it might come. Don't worry.
Look, the best thing you can get, a guy who's getting double covered every play, is a guy who's like a burner on the other side of the field. And now Rashid Shaheed joins that Seahawks offense. That's already like taking the top off of the NFL. Darnold has like an MVP candidate out of nowhere this year. He's on his third team in 3 years, and he's just so resilient. It's really like the story the last. I don't think it's not enough is being made of. We talk about Baker Mayfield, but Darnold, same thing, and they cross paths, and look at both of them now, and they're both MVP type candidates. And now you get him another guy to like make a strength stronger. You see a lot of coaches believe in this. Like when the Giants were going good, Ernie Accorsi wanted to keep adding pass rushers. Let's get another one. Who cares if we have Michael Strahan on one side and OC? And let's get Justin Tuck. Let's get 3. And let's see if they can deal with it and we keep them fresh and rotate them inside and on NASCAR packages. It was awesome. And that was 20 years ago. It's no different now. And I think that's what you're seeing. And now you have an offense that could do everything out there. They got 2 running backs everyone's afraid of with Walker and Charbonnet. They've got a receiver at every position. They're good, man. They're for real.
They wanted to move A.J. Brown. I know there was a story coming out that they were shopping him. I don't think they were shopping him. Even though Devontae Smith has shown you that he could be a number 1 guy. And I think they believe he's their number 1 guy. And Jalen Hurts would rather throw to Devontae Smith than A.J. Brown. I mean, what book is A.J. Brown reading on the sidelines this year? That is going to be a story I'm interested to see. I mean, I don't know if he could do it double deuce this year as he did last year, but I like what the Eagles did. I think the Eagles are positioned to be a contender again. I already thought they were a contender. Saquon Barkley, I think, was fighting injury early this season. I think he's starting to get healthy. You can see his game getting a little bit better. And I think there's just a little bit more trust and a little bit more belief in the organization and what the organization is doing because they have the best, I believe, GM in all of sports. He has proven it. And I know what he is doing has been incredible over the last couple of years and how he is rocking and socking for those Eagle fans. And no Eagle fan should be crying and throwing bricks or throwing rocks at any fans or any players because they have a chance to win back-to-back championships. And the last team to do it, the Kansas City, was it the Kansas City Chiefs? No,
yeah, 2 years ago.
It was the Kansas City Chiefs. So almost a 3-peat, And who broke that? The Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. My Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. You want to sing that, Speedy? No, I don't want you to sing it. I don't want to sing it. I know you're a Giant fan. Lose it. Zipper it tonight. I'm losing it tonight. And no popcorn tonight, Jabba. Well, there might be popcorn later. There might be craziness. But, yeah, it's a crazy one. Yeah, my deuce of the day.
The deuce of the day.
You, not a log. I don't have a log, but
Oh, there's a lot of crying for all the fans. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of crying because there will not be a November 14th fight in Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, it was canceled. Gervonta Tank Davis is subjected to a civil lawsuit related to criminal investigations with no fight because of that. As there was stories coming out from the Davis camp, an ex-girlfriend accusing Davis of assault and battery, aggravated battery, which is even worse, and false imprisonment, kidnapping, and much, much more. And everybody was, and including yours truly, there was a build-up for this fight. I wanted to see Tank Davis knock this guy out and finally end the Jake Paul situation. But again, Jake Paul ducks and weaves again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is perfect for the Paul camp to see this absolutely horrible fitting fight completely be washed away. As Moses parted the sea, Jake Paul parts a knockout. So what does that spell for our deuce of the day? It spells an absolute debacle for a fight. So my deuce of the day goes to Gervonta Tank Davis. And what are you doing? I don't know why you put your hands on a woman. And then Jake Paul being saved by the bell. Yes, I love it. My deuce of the day. It's beautiful. And no, it wasn't about Travis Hunter or the Gremlin, as we call him. He's done for the season. I win the bet. Where are you, Quentin Copels, when I need you? In just a few moments after our break, after our sports minute, we will be talking to former 14-year NBA referee and the author of the book, Personal Foul. He's been on the lookout for all these betting scandals that have been going on with the NBA, and now he will be joining Jabba in the Mouth. The one, the only, Tim Donaghy will be joining us when we come back here on Jabba in the Mouth.
It's the Jabba in the Mouth Sports Minute.
What is up, guys? Aaron Fishman here with your Sports Minute. Got a couple of stories before we get into the scores this evening. UFC CEO Dana White told ESPN that he had met with the FBI after suspicious betting patterns were discovered in a UFC fight this past Saturday night. According to White, the UFC was alerted to strange betting patterns on the Isaac Dulgarian versus the Yadier Diwali fight at UFC Fight Night, where Dulgarian was submitted in the first round by Diwali after being a minus 250 favorite for the fight. The gambling watchdog company Integrity Compliance 360, IC360, alerted authorities and the UFC after multiple large bets were flagged at multiple sportsbooks on this card. The Caesar Sportsbook refunded bets on Dulgarian after the suspicious outcome. IC360 reached out to and told us that there was some unusual action going on with that fight and asked, did we know anything? White told TMZ. We didn't. We called the fighter and his lawyer and said, what's going on? Are you injured? Do you owe anybody money? Has anybody approached you? The kid said, absolutely not. I'm going to kill this guy. The fight plays out, first round finish. Literally the first thing we did was call the FBI. I met the FBI twice Tuesday. The UFC then released Dulgarian from the promotion in the fallouts of what looks pretty clearly to be a rigged fight. And LA Clippers owner and former Microsoft co-founder Steve Ballmer is now being sued by 11 former aspiration investors, according to investigative sports journalist Pablo Torre, who first broke the bombshell story before the NBA season of the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard using a fraudulent and now defunct company as a front to cheat the NBA salary cap. The new lawsuit alleges that Ballmer aided and abetted Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg. Sandberg is scheduled to be sentenced to up to 40 years in jail for wire fraud in late February of 26. The 11 plaintiffs say that Ballmer and his scheme to cheat the salary cap allowed Sandberg to continue with his self-serving fraud, and without Ballmer's support could never have defrauded the 11 investors and perpetrated the large-scale fraud that they were all victimized by. According to the plaintiff's complaints, plaintiffs allege that Ballmer transferred other funds to Aspiration to keep the company afloat and buy Sandberg's support, cooperation, and silence about the secret deal with Leonard. The full extent of Ballmer's transfers of funds to Aspiration and Sandberg will be ascertained in discovery. This means the dirt on Ballmer's dealings will be exposed in the court case, which I'm sure Adam Silver and the NBA and maybe more officials will be paying extra special attention to. Speaking of the NBA, in NBA action right now, it's halftime at the Garden. The Timberwolves have a 58-54 lead on the Knicks. It's 6:23 left in the third. The Cavaliers have an 11-point lead, 85-74 over the Sixers. 2 minutes left in the third. Pistons 73, Jazz 67. All tied in Indiana with the Nets and the Pacers, 5:45 in the third. At halftime, it's 70-60, Celtics over the Wizards. Just starting the second, 34-24 Rockets over the Grizzlies in Memphis. Just underway, Mavericks and Pelicans. And still to come tonight, Heat Nuggets, Spurs Lakers, Thunder Trailblazers, and Warriors Kings. In hockey, we've got at the end of the second period, the Mammoth and Maple Leafs are tied at 2 in Toronto. With about 11:58 left in the second, it's 3-0 Capitals over the Blues. And still to come tonight, Flames Blue Jackets, Canucks Blackhawks, and Kraken Sharks. Guys, we are streaming live on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube on our Job in the Mouth handle, on Facebook under the Worldwide Sports Radio Network handle, and on Twitter under our host handle at ErrolMarks34. Keep downloading on Apple Podcasts and watch us both there and on Spotify, now in video. Make sure to like and subscribe to all our shorts, reels, TikToks, and longer videos that you see from us throughout the week. Now back to Errol, Jabba, and Speedy for our guest on Jabba and the Mouth.
Any questions? What is this? We're back. This is the Jabba and the Mouth Show.
Oh, I like it. Speedy, bring in my type of music here. I'm not rapping here tonight. I don't want to scare anybody away. Popcorn is definitely going to be dished out by the old Jabba Chamberlain. 631-672-3108 is the number to call. You're listening to Jabba and the Mouth. I am the host, the one and only Errol Marks, Mr. Flamethrower himself, Jabba Chamberlain, Speedy Petey, executive producing tonight, producing, board ops, co-hosting. He's dishing it out tonight. Go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Check out all our shows throughout the week, including Jabba and the Mouth every single Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. All you have to do to tune in and check out our local listings for all our shows is go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Before we announce our wonderful guest, our show is brought to you by Omaha Steaks, and they are giving you 10% off on all orders. If you're a Jabba in the Mouth fan, click the link, www.omahasteaks.com/Jabba in the Mouth, or go to our website at worldwidesportsradio.com and click the Omaha Steaks logo. If you're a beef eater, if you're a meat eater, if you like carnivores, and if you want to sell carnivore food to anybody, you can get 10% off on any Omaha steak. All you have to do is be a Jabba in the Mouth fan. I'm going to have a heart attack tonight, Speedy. Yes, I'm moving my mic, and I'm telling you, you can get your very own Omaha steak if you use our wonderful link. Omaha Steaks. Get your beef before it's gone. Do you like that? You like that take, Speedy?
There you go.
I like it. Maybe I can help them out. I could give them a slogan. Speaking of slogans, I don't think this guy needs any slogan. This is a guy I've wanted to get on this show for years. I reached out to Speedy and I said, reach out to this guy. Let's get him on the show. I think he has a lot to give and some of the information that's going on in sports betting. He is a former 14-year NBA referee and the author and book of Personal Foul. He is the guy that created the book of Personal Foul. The one, the only, Tim Donaghy. Tim, what is up, my friend?
Hey, not much. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Well, we're happy to have you, man. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA. And now we're hearing in the UFC. So it seems like it's flustering in many different ways in many different sports. I'm flustered. I wrote a story about Dana White, so maybe it's just me. Maybe I just caused a lot of trouble for the UFC. Maybe not. I'm trying to give myself some kind of pat on the back. But you've been on, you've been on different shows around the country, and you've been talking about sports betting. And sports betting has really controlled, I think, professional sports for more than 50 years. It's been around forever. And you've been behind it for a very, very long time. You've done time because of it. First of all, I want to get into your career and how you got into refereeing. I know your father was a referee in college sports and the NBA. Tell us a little bit about what made you become a referee and the back end of your career before you became a referee.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, my dad was a top college basketball referee. My uncle Billy Oakes was an NBA ref, and I came from Howardtown, Pennsylvania, where there were, 4 or 5 other NBA referees: Callahan, Crawford, Javi, Wonderlick, and it's a situation where we all kind of just grew up in that area and had the ability to listen and learn from each other. And with that, I just decided to pursue in their footsteps. And I was fortunate enough to get in a training program and eventually at age 26 get hired by the NBA.
Now, David Stern is a guy that was very well respected for NBA fans. I respected David Stern. He really transitioned the NBA to what it is today and gave it to Adam Silver. And now I believe it's the LJA. It's not the NBA. It's called the LeBron James Association because it seems like everything is run through LeBron James, as we all know, as we watched Luka Doncic get traded out of nowhere last year at the trade deadline when everybody was shocked and surprised. Tell us a little bit about your connections with David Stern. Obviously, David Stern was the commissioner of the NBA when you were a referee in the NBA. What type of commissioner was he in the NBA?
Really, I didn't have any interaction with him, but I can just tell you, with the situation that I was involved with and the FBI agents getting involved, they said that he was as worse than any other mob boss they ever investigated. They just said he was ruthless and he was just, conniving and he was manipulative. And, they just said that he was, worse than any mob boss they ever investigated. And he was somebody that, did a lot of things behind the scenes to, benefit himself in the NBA.
July 20th, 2007, the New York Post columnist, Mr. Wise, first reported the investigation into your situation and from the bets from NBA games from 2005 and 2007. Tell us a little bit about that situation.
What, when I started to gamble and
Yes.
I just started to gamble on college events and then eventually pro events. And then, started to bet on a lot of events that were taking place with a buddy of mine named Jack and Cannon. And then from there, when I had information on NBA games, I told him about that. And then eventually even NBA games that I officiated when, inside information became, talked about in the meetings, I would take that information. And if I felt the line was 4 or 5 points off, I would tell certain people to bet the games. And, they were doing well betting the games and passing the information along to people associated with organized crime. And, they started to use it. And then when I wanted to stop doing it, they, had somebody come and pick me up and tell me that we weren't going to stop, that I was going to continue to give them the picks that I had been given, to a buddy of mine.
Now, everybody talks about the integrity of the game and what the game really brings to the world and all the international people and players that have come over the last couple of years. Now, Tim, you look at the game and you look at the transition of the game. Obviously, the Chauncey Billups story is the big one. When you look at Chauncey Billups, he's very well respected around the league. He's a coach. And you hear these stories about the scandal that he was in with the glasses and working with the Gambino family or the 4 families that were involved in all these different stories. When you heard Chauncey Billups' name get brought up into that story, what were your thoughts to it?
Just kind of shocked that, an active NBA coach was involved in poker games and luring people there, for the purpose of basically robbing them. So kind of shocking that he was involved in that. And some of the other things of, basically giving information about what was going to go on in a game he was involved with, if they were going to tank or not. And if certain star players weren't playing, he was passing that information along too. So, it was kind of shocking that it got to the point where, he was doing stuff like that.
I've gone back and forth with the Terra Rozier thing because the NBA were investigating and then let him play. Porter was pretty much thrown to the wolves. I believe the NBA did that to you because I think there were other people involved in your scandal and they really pushed it on you. I believe the NBA protected themselves and didn't protect you. And I heard different stories behind it. When you think of the NBA after what the NBA did to you, and you see what the NBA is dealing with right now, what do you think of the NBA after the fact that they pointed the finger at you and nobody else?
Right. I mean, I have a text message from an FBI agent that said, "Hey, Tim, doesn't look like they're going to be able to cover this up like they did in your situation." So, I think that, definitely they covered a lot up. There was other people that I know the FBI wanted to indict, and it just seems like the prosecutor, who later went to work at a law firm that got all the outside legal counsel work, from the NBA since he went there, seemed to be, running the investigation with David Stern. So, it's just, a lot of strange things definitely go on in regard to the NBA and how they conduct business.
We are talking to former 14-year NBA referee, author of the book Personal Foul, Tim Donaghy. Everybody knows him. And to me, I don't know. I haven't checked out your book. I'm definitely going to buy it. It came out in 2009. Tell us a little bit about the book. And did you actually write it when you were in jail?
I did. I wrote it when I was in jail, would mail each chapter back to my mom, who would type it up nice and neat, and then, mail it back to me. And then we just put the whole thing together and thankfully got it published when the NBA went into, the offices of Random House, who was going to print the book and basically threaten them, and went into the offices of 60 Minutes and asked them not to air the episode right before we published the book. So, it's just a lot of the underhanded things that, like you said, David Stern was involved with and doing to me.
Well, we all know what happened with the New York Knicks, and there were stories coming out that the reason why the Knicks won the lottery with Patrick Ewing is because the card was cold and he pulled it out, and the Knicks won Patrick Ewing. And the Knicks have never gotten a number one pick since then. They've been really, really bad. So I could believe that there's something behind the NBA and David Stern over the years. And I believe Adam Silver lets the players run the league. It's been a big problem over the last couple of years, as I call it, not the NBA. And anybody that listens to this show, I call it the LJA, the LeBron James Association, because it seems like everything goes through LeBron James with all of the different things that have happened in the league, including picking the United States basketball team, as he didn't want certain players to be on the team and they were not picked to be on the team. I don't know if it's a coinky dink, but it seems like it is. But that's a whole nother story. You talk about the mafia and the four families that were caught behind this scandal with the Phillips, the Jones, and the Rozier story. You were tied up with the Gambino family. Tell us a little bit about the Gambino family and how you were tied up with them.
There was just a buddy of mine I went to high school with, and he knew this guy that also went to our high school. And, when I wasn't giving the picks anymore to a buddy of mine, I didn't know behind my back he was getting them. And this guy was associated with organized crime and wanted to continue to get those picks. So he just, set a meeting up with Tommy Martino. And when I was in Philadelphia to referee the Sixers and the Celtics, and basically showed up at my hotel and said he had known what I had been doing for years, and he wanted to continue to get those picks. And if I didn't give him the picks, he'd have somebody, expose me to the NBA for the gambling I had done in the past, because I wasn't supposed to place a bet of any kind or worse yet, have somebody visit my wife and kids in Florida.
College basketball is, we had Brendan Steiner on Monday, and he was talking about how important college basketball is when it comes to signing autographs and getting these players now with the NIL deals and the way these players can make money now off their own autographs. He says that's where everything's transitioning in. Do you believe that sports betting is going to transition even more into college sports, and why?
I don't think it is. I think it's going to, come to a little bit of a halt because I think it just exploded so quick, and the benefits of the league's bottom line because of being involved with these gambling sites now, I think moved way too fast. And I think at the college level, they want to try to keep it away from these student athletes as much as possible. So, I think they're going to have to find some type of way to slow this down a little bit, get these prop bets under control so that, more players don't, end up doing what these guys did. And I think you're going to find out that more players whose names haven't even been released yet are involved in this. So I think there's more to it, and I think it's just not out yet.
Tim, baseball. Okay, go ahead, Jabba.
Yeah, no, there's been, I think, 4 guys this year in baseball too, and Errol brings up college basketball. Do you think that in other sports that we've seen in baseball now, do you think it is going to become as prevalent in the other sports as kind of we're seeing, what they're like making an example out of the NBA now, that we're going to see a little bit more come to the forefront in the other sports as well?
I think it happens in all sports. I think right now it's the NBA who is exposed and under the fire. I think with this, you may find out that there's other people in other sports involved, and it's just the tip of the iceberg right now. So I think there's a lot more to come with this, to be honest with you.
We are talking to former 14-year NBA referee, author of the book Personal Foul, Tim Donaghy. He has been all over the last couple of weeks speaking about this sports betting, and now you're hearing something that the UFC has to investigate, and Dana White. Baseball has dealt with this over the last couple of years. The Shohei Ohtani story, I'm sure you heard about the Shohei Ohtani story, and the FBI was involved with it. They investigated it for 2 weeks, and there were so many offshore accounts. There was so much money involved in this. As a matter of fact, some people say, at first they were saying between 15 and 18 million. Now they're saying between 25 and 30 million. And there's 4 different accountants Shohei Ohtani goes to when it comes to his money. And it's really surprising that Shohei Ohtani didn't know that there was $25 million missed out of his account. I know he's a very rich man. I know he's an international superstar, but it's pretty interesting when you hear a story like this. And you look at Pete Rose, and Tim, you know Pete Rose. I'm sure you're a Pete Rose fan, who never has been inducted into the Hall of Fame because he bet on baseball, bet for his team against other teams when he was a manager, and was never really allowed to be brought back in baseball. When you look at that situation that baseball had to deal with Shohei Ohtani, do you think they did the right thing? Do you think they investigated it deeper? Or they should have, I think they should have investigated it deeper, but do you think they investigated deep enough when it came to Shohei Ohtani?
No, because I don't think there's any way that, he didn't realize $30 million was missing out of his bank account. I think the Major League Baseball know for a fact that he was involved in it, and they don't want to kill the golden goose who's bringing them global attention, at this point. So I think that they covered this whole thing up. I don't think there's any doubt that, he was involved in placing these bets on these games.
All right, I'm going to ask a quick question about a guy that you know well, Scott Foster, another referee that I allegedly was caught in this, but then they said he wasn't. He was not charged with anything. There were a lot of these false reports, but I know you're close with him. Do you know anything about any other referees that might be connected in the modern game now? And what do you think the NBA should do to approach it now?
No, I can't tell if anybody else is, involved in gambling at this point. I really couldn't hear him, but yeah, Foster was a friend of mine, and as far as him being involved in this, he definitely wasn't involved in any way, shape, or form with myself.
No, Tim, when does they obviously probably approach you. When does the FBI and it go to the next step of just not just the NBA, but getting authorities involved after that?
I'm not sure what you mean, but the FBI got involved and, do an investigation of a game being a wiretap. And I guess that's how they heard of, our entire situation. And from there, once I had known that an investigation started, I kind of went to them and had an attorney call them.
Tim, you look at the FBI, and the FBI they investigated your case and they dug deep into your case. And now you're looking at Chauncey Billups, Rozier, and Jones, and they were kind of grading where these guys were. I mean, honestly, they're saying Jones is going to get the smacketh down laid on him because he was involved with all three situations. Rozier betting on games and actually shaving off points. That was really bad. And they say Chauncey Billups, he might see jail time. He might not. It depends on how they can investigate it and pin it on him, because there are things that maybe might not be able to be pinned on him. When you look at all three of these guys, and like you said, there are other guys that are involved with it. You've heard that Kevin Garnett was at these games that was robbed. You've heard of other NBA players that have shown up to these betting games in these games. Do you think that the NBA is going to pull out even bigger names involved in this case?
I think they're going to do whatever they can to minimize the damage and minimize the names that come out from this. But unlike the situation with myself, they're not controlling this investigation. I think the FBI is saying that, we're going to get this right this time, and we're going to do it by, prosecuting these guys to the fullest extent of the law. So I think, again, this is just something that's getting started, and there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Tim. You have LeBron James. You have Giannis. And I'm not saying they're involved with it. I'm not pinning them on this story. But if these names were involved in this case, could you see the NBA pushing this under the rug and trying to push the FBI outside of this circle that they're in right now if it was a big superstar like Shohei Ohtani with baseball?
I think that they would do everything they can to cover it up and do that. But like I said, I don't think that's going to happen this time. I thought back in the day, David Stern was involved in running my whole investigation. The United States attorney that was working the case at the time left there and went to a law firm and started getting all outside legal counsel work from the NBA. So, I don't think that they're going to be able to get the guys that they need to be their puppets and do what they did back in the day with me. I think these guys, want to get this right. And I think the FBI is not going to be embarrassed, and they're going to make it right.
Do you think, Tim, like with, with these prop bets, and obviously with how prevalent, the gambling websites, as far as advertising, like on, networks that are showing baseball, basketball, football, like DraftKings, whatever, like I use LeBron. He's one of the spokesperson for DraftKings. Do you think to get it right, do you think they have to eliminate, things like prop bets or certain things that are easier to kind of dictate through, them being involved in representing the DraftKings or whatever, and then also playing as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely you can get rid of the prop bets. Where one way you can do it is just have it. You can only take the over. You can't take the under of the prop bets because, make the players go out and play hard and try to, hit the over mark. So this way there's no worry about somebody tanking for the under. You can only bet the over and set that at an amount so that there's no tanking when it comes to it. But I think there's somehow, some way they have to try and put the genie back in the bottle and get this under control so that, this thing doesn't ever happen again.
Well, it's going to be very, very hard when it's international now. It's national. There's how many states involved with it, and everybody's involved with it. Tim, you know this. Everybody is and again, I think prop bets should be taken out of the game, especially the NBA, because these players seem to think that they can get away with it. Now, I think that when you look at Porter and what Porter got, he got a life ban. And I think the same thing when it comes to steroids. I think there should be something, as bad as it is, they should grade it. If it's graded to that potential where it's going to be a life ban, then you can give them a life ban. But there has to be a grade like steroids that you do it once, you're suspended for a year. If you do it a second time, you're out for this. Or there's got to be something. When you look at sports betting and you look at the league and the NBA, do they figure out some kind of rule or regulation that could obviously they could put into effect for the future for the NBA?
I have no idea, what the best, scenario would be. But when it comes to gambling, I think that they have to take a hard stance because it really, hits at the integrity of the game. And if you don't have the integrity of the game intact, which is already in question with the NBA, it's tough to keep fans in the stands. And without the fans in the stands, the game suffers. So, it's just a situation where, you got to just get it going and hope things change.
Well, listen to this. The NFL, and by the way, we were talking to Tim Donaghy, he 14-year NBA referee, author of the book Personal Foul. Go check it out. Go to any bookstore. I'm sure they're in Amazon. You can find the book. I'm going to go buy the book, Tim. And then I want to talk one-on-one with you and go over each chapter about your book, because I think it would be absolutely great to talk about fully your book in the inside and out of what happened in your career as a basketball referee. You look at, the situation the NBA is in now, and now the league as a whole, and now you have Adam Silver. It's not David Stern, so it's a completely different commissioner. And I think he's been more lenient in certain ways. I think he's let the players really run the league. And a lot of people have complained about the NBA, about the different stuff that has gone on, the under the table stuff, the Kawhi Leonard thing that came out. You just heard it from Fish in our Sports Minute. Do you think that something needs to be done with the commissioner? Maybe Adam Silver is way over his head.
It's a possibility because he definitely has taken a much softer stance than David Stern, ever took. So maybe somebody in the middle would be a happy medium. But yeah, it seems like, Silver's got a lot of problems that he needs to get rectified in a hurry.
I'm not a betting man. I do a sports radio show. A lot of people come to me and they ask me, what props bet? My sister won $800 recently because I gave her a props bet and a parlay, and she called me up. Oh my God, I put $20. I won $800. I could do this. I could do that. So I don't bet on sports because it's not my thing. All right. But I love sports, and I look at things and I calculate statistics and generate certain numbers, but it's not always right. When you look at Vegas, and Vegas is, I think, 65% right, or 68%. I don't know what the number is now. When you look at Vegas and the numbers and how it generates as a whole, do you think that one way or another, Vegas needs to be controlled in some kind of way by these, by the FBI or the leagues out there?
Yeah, there has to be some type of independent, monitoring system, that you can really spit out the red flags with irregular betting. But, there's a lot of situations where you can bet, overseas or different avenues, not just in the United States. So if you want to get the money down, they'll still be able to get the money down.
All right, let's talk about what you're doing now. Now, I heard you're doing real estate, and you've been very successful. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since all that stuff happened to you.
Yeah, I got involved, in real estate at the right time back in 2009 and 10, where nobody really wanted the properties. Was able to get them cheap at an auction, fix them up, rent them out. Now I have several properties that I'm basically just monitoring them and the landlord of.
You got to give me some tips, man. I mean, I'm doing a little side work as well. I got somebody helping me out, teaching me the ropes, and it can get confusing because percentages and what you're putting into it, you want to make sure that you're getting something out of it, and it kind of throws you off because I'm lackluster when it comes to statistics and numbers when it comes to money. I've made a lot of mistakes in my time, my friend, and I'm a little lost. So maybe we could talk off air. Maybe you could give me some of your tips. I'm definitely interested. Now, you got a family, you got daughters. Tell us a little bit about your family life since the situation and how they handled everything.
Yeah, thankfully they handled it great. I was fortunate enough that, after I got out, I rebuilt my life, like I said, through real estate. All my daughters are happy and healthy. One of them, the youngest one, still lives with me. So, just been lucky that they were resilient and we were able to get, past everything.
All right. I want to get into the Goodfellas. Remember the movie Goodfellas?
Sure.
And everybody was talking about the murders that they did and all the other stuff, drug dealing. But the real reason why they got caught was sports betting. And it was that Boston College, the two players from Boston College. And I investigated and I was like, well, and then he was on a Howard Stern show and he was talking about it. He's like, it was nothing with the drugs. It was nothing with this. They wanted to catch the sports betting and what we were doing, shaving off points. When you hear something like that, and that was before you, was that something that really sunk in when you kind of seen stories or heard of stories of that magnitude?
Yeah, I mean, I always heard of the famous Boston College scandal. So, as depicted, as they said in Goodfellas. So, yeah, no, it's definitely that, situations like this are going to come up time to time. You just have to hope that they're, minimal in damage that they do to the sports league. So, I think this one, like I said earlier, is something that's going to be much bigger than what it is right now. It's just getting started.
All right. So may he rest in peace. If David Stern was alive today, okay? He was alive today, and we could set up a celebrity boxing match. Would you get in the ring with David Stern?
I would love it. Trust me, I would love it.
I'll tell you what, maybe we can hook you up with Adam Silver. I see that he has these big ears. He could flop outside of the ring. I mean, he might be able to fly. I mean, he could do the Matrix against you. I don't know.
You never know.
It's an interesting story because I really think that they shafted you. I mean, reading the different stories that I've read and behind the scenes, I didn't read your book yet. And I'm going to read your book now. And I would love to get you on the show to talk about your book and go inside and out of the chapters and the trials and tribulations. What was it like going to jail for 15 years in a federal penitentiary?
15 months. If I had to do 15 years, I'd shoot myself.
Months. I'm sorry, 15 months. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I corrected myself. You corrected me. 15 months.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, definitely not fun. Not fun at all. A lot of long, boring, lonely nights. But I was fortunate enough that I got through it.
Yeah, I've never been to jail. I've seen a lot of different things over the years, but I've never really experienced it. So I couldn't imagine it going to a federal penitentiary and dealing with that as long as you did. And that's still a long time. 15 months is a long time. And to really kind of go and think about the things that you did and you wrote a book. So I kind of took away some of the time that you were there because you could really figure out how you want to attack this and how you want to present your story behind the paper. And it's interesting. And is your mom still here with us?
Yes, she is.
And how is your mom doing?
She's doing good. My dad and her are still, doing well in Seattle City, New Jersey. And, I go back there, once in the summer just to, say hi and spend some time there.
How did your father handle this? Because your father very well respected around the college ranks as a referee and really helped you start your career. How did he handle this scandal and how it was pinned on you the way it was? Did he handle it the way a father would, or did he kind of take a step back and didn't say anything?
Kind of handled it like a father would, definitely supportive, thankfully, even though that it was embarrassing with, what I had done and how I had done it. So, I was fortunate enough that, my parents stood by me and helped me out a great deal.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go. All right. So let's pretend that you are the judge with Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Mr. Jones. Okay. You're standing there and you're making a decision on how you're going to handle it. I don't know if there's going to be a jury involved with it, but if it was just you making a decision, what would you give Chauncey Billups first?
If all these allegations are true?
Are true. What would you give him?
I would say he's probably going to do, 2 to 4 years.
So that's you being nice, right? Is that
right?
Okay. I'm just trying to nip it on the butt here. I know nobody's asked you this question, but that's what makes our show interesting. I want to pretend that you are the law and you're making the decisions. All right. Terry Rozier.
I think, that's fixing a game, fixing a bet. I think he's probably going to do the most time. I would think, I think the Boston College scandal guys did 5-7. I'd say, probably 5-7.
All right. A lot of people, now a lot of writers have been all over on this. They're saying Jones was involved with every single one of these scandals. What would you give Jones if you were the judge of this situation?
I always liked him. He was always good to me. He was a good guy. So maybe I just give him a little probation.
This is why, Tim, this is why I like you, man. You kept a straight face until that smirk came out.
There you go.
You kept it straight the whole time. I was trying to get something out of you, and you were like, same old stuff. And then, bam, I got you. And then David Stern, I would love to see you box. What do you knock him out in the first or second round? I think
30 seconds.
Right hook, right?
Lefty. I'm a lefty.
That's right. You're a lefty. So left hook, you throw a couple of jabs, set him up, and knock him out.
There you
Out
go.
like a light. But maybe we'll make a book together. We'll call it Jabba in the Mouth, Out Like a Light by Tim Donaghy. Tim, we love you, man. And listen, I know you've been all over the place, and I know you've been jumping from different shows. The fact that you came on our show says a lot about who you are. And we are one of the up-and-coming big shows in the states of the world, and we're ranked in the 200s in Spotify and Apple, and we're just growing all over the place. And we just love the fact that you came on and gave us your takes and didn't hold back on anything that you said. And that makes you who you are. And I think that's why I think that the NBA should have given you a little bit more lenience on some of the stuff that they claimed you did, especially when you wanted to take you wanted to get out of it, and you were thrown to the wolves by the FBI and the NBA. I think it was wrong for David Stern, even though I think he was the only guy that helped the NBA grow in the time that they needed to grow, but also did things that I think was pushed under the rug and shoved under the rug in the wrong way. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you having me. I look forward to, after you read the book, we'll talk about it again.
Let's do it. I'm serious.
Right,
I want to talk.
All
Tim Donaghy. So he's been fantastic. It was a great interview. And let me tell you something. He would knock out David Stern. I like it. I like it. You see that, guys? I got out of him that, and I kind of put him in a position where he was the judge and the jury, and he made his decision. I'm very surprised he said that he's a good friend of Jones, so I guess that made a lot of sense. He would just give probation.
Yeah, he was quick to correct you on that 15 years, dog.
I like to listen. I made a mistake. I cleaned it up. All right. It's not.
He only served 11 with good time though.
Yeah. And you want to know something? He's such a straight shooter. He kept a straight face the whole interview until I got out of him a smile. Did you guys see?
There's probably certain stuff he can't say anyways.
No, I know. And I wanted to hold back. I was going to attack it in maybe other ways, but I think I attacked it the way I wanted to attack it and really add my humor to it. And so it was perfect. It was a perfect interview. I loved it. So I got to give myself a golf clap. A golf clap. Thank you. Golf clap. Golf clap. It was good. You're not giving me a golf clap? All right, give me the finger. Thank you. Figures. There it is. I'm eating a rat now, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's go. Save your tears.
Mom, what's one thing that you can't talk to me about?
My sexual fantasies.
Say you're sorry.
It's not ideal, but if it's what we, it is not ideal, but if it's not ideal, but if it is what we. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, boy. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. Boy, you guys, enough.
Oh, it's time for Save Your Tears.
Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and Speedy seems to win every single week. It's been back-to-back. I am going to take it over this week. I'm concentrating. I'm winning.
Well, maybe you will, maybe you won't. You are a great FedEx Cup standings player, Speedy. One of these days we need these standings. But you are the defending champ, Speedy. You'll tell us who's going to go in what order tonight on Save Your Tiers, everybody's favorite tier-based fantasy contest. You get $15. We're using Yahoo Fantasy PPR scoring. The winner gets long-winded, 51% genuine compliments from all the losers next.
That went over like a fart in church.
Episode. Are you boys ready to save your tears? All right, I picked 3 games. I wrote it down somewhere. Let's see where it is. The 3 games for this one are the Giants and the Bears, the Jaguars and the Texans, and the Seahawks and the Cardinals. So here we go. Let's take a look at the board, and I'm going to read it off for everybody just listening. But again, if you're just listening, you can watch us in video on YouTube, on all the streamings. You can subscribe to us on everything social media. Make sure that you also download us in video, also available on Spotify and Apple. All right, $5 player, got to be Sam Darnold from the Seahawks, followed by Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Jackson Dart, and Jacoby Brissett for $1. Now that we're not really sure about C.J. Stroud for this week, and it looks like Kyler Murray is on the IR, so Brissett gets in there. At running back, Travis Etienne Jr. will be the $5 player, followed by Kenneth Walker III. We're going to go with Kyle Manangai for $3. Tyrone Tracy Jr.
Can we bring Sebastian in? I think Sebastian should come and join.
Well,
Why not?
He does.
Why not? Let's
it's
get
up to
in.
him. It's completely up to him. No pressure. It is his first day, Errol.
I
Literally
know.
his first day.
If he wants it's up to him. If he wants to play the game, I mean, he can win the game. It's not impossible. There is a way to win.
Triple H once said it's all about the game and how you play it. So the $2 player is Tyrone Tracy Jr., followed by Chubb for $1. Then we have at wide receiver 1, the best receiver in the NFL this year, Jackson Smith in Jigba, followed by Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr., Wan'Dale Robinson for $2, and Jakobi Meyers for $1 just traded. The other receiver slot is going to go to Nico Collins, followed by Roma Dunze, who was god-awful last week with no points, but he's still been great all year, followed by DJ Moore, his teammate, Jaden Higgins, and Giants misery, Darius Slayton for $1. And at tight end, no surprise, Trey McBride, Colston Loveland, the Bears hero from last week, for $4. Theo Johnson, Dalton Schultz, and it's Strange for $1 at tight end. Speedy, who's going first?
Well, I'm not going to make you go first this week, Fish, so that means we have to make Nathan go first.
Nith.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go Jackson. I'm going to go Jackson Dart. I'm going to go Kenneth Walker. I'm going to go. So that's 6. I'm going to do. This is a tough one. I'm going to do JSN. Jaden Higgins.
All right, that means you have 6, 11, 13. So you got $2 left for Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz.
Or Brenton Strange. I know you like to save money. You're very thrifty in this game, Nathan.
Nathan does love his former Cowboys, though.
I'm going to do Dalton Schultz.
All right, and Schultz. So I have you down for Dart, Walker, JSN, Higgins, and Schultz. Speedy, who's next?
Let's go, Jarrett.
All right.
All right. Let me quick, because I wasn't here on Monday, give my compliments to Speedy. Speedy, I truly believe you're the unsung hero of the show. You do so much great work behind the scenes. You help me out tremendously every single week and every single day, getting clips up for Instagram and such. You're obviously now the betting favorite every week, I think, now for Save Your Tears.
Oh, man. Are we betting on Save
Julie,
Your
thank
Tears
you for all you do.
winners?
All right.
All right, Jarrett.
If we want to get really degenerate about it, absolutely. I'm going to do Jackson Dart, Kyle Manangai, because I don't really know who he is. It was going to be great. JSN, Jaden Higgins, and Theo Johnson.
All right, so I got you for Manangai, Dart, JSN, Higgins, and Theo Johnson. We get Sebastian back in here?
It looks like he's coming in, but I don't see his camera yet, so I'm not fully in.
Oh,
All right,
there he
so-
is.
All
Let's
right.
Let's put him on if you're ready.
Oh, there.
All right, Sebastian, welcome. No pressure. First episode ever. Welcome, our new intern, Sebastian. Sebastian, you got $15.
All right. So I kind of missed the beginning of this because I was trying to get in and out, but is anybody eliminated? I could just pick anyone?
No, you pick whoever you want. You got $15 to spend, though. You can't go over cap, and you have to pick from the column it's in for the receiver.
Okay.
always
Definitely I'm going to take JSN with the $5. Yeah, that's a must. And then for my wide receiver 2, I'm going to go with DJ Moore. So give me at 8. So give me 7 left to spend. I'm going to go with Jackson Dart at quarterback. And then I'm going to go Chubb and Strange. I think that should be 15.
Strange, Chubb. All right, so I got you for Dart, Chubb, JSN, Moore, and Strange.
Yes.
All right, and I can't fit Sebastian in there, so we're going to go with Seabass on
Or put
the
Seb.
thing.
Put Seb.
Seb, even better.
Yeah. Yes.
You want an extra B or just one B?
Nah, just one B. Just one B.
All right, for MFit.
What school you go to?
I actually graduated from FIU last year.
Oh,
At the end of the year last year. But yeah. So I graduated already. I got my 4 years.
You still in Florida?
Yeah. I'm still in Florida. Right now I'm just covering FIU, like their sports. They have basketball that just started recently. They came on Monday. They started a home opener. So I was there recording, getting some coverage and stuff like that. So that's what I've been up to since post-graduation.
I love Florida.
All right, maybe you're going to be a Savior Tiers champ right off the bat. We'll find out.
Let's see.
All right, Speedy, who's next?
I'll go next, actually. I'll take Caleb Williams. I'll take Tracy. Give me Myers. Give me DJ Moore and Trey McBride.
Myers, Moore, and McBride. So hard to keep up with you, Speedy. You're just like grease lightning. Caleb, Tracy, Myers, Moore, McBride. All right, Speedy, I guess I'll just go next. I'm going to go with Sammy D right here, Mr. Darnold. No one else has done it. He deserves it. At running back, I don't know. Is Swift going to play? I don't know. But if they doesn't, I like Manangai a lot. I think that guy might be better than Swift already. I think it's only a matter of time. Maybe it's this week. What better time than now? I got to go cheap. I know the Giants don't really have anyone to throw to except for Wandale Robinson, so we're going with Wandale. So that's what, 10? That's 10.
Oh, no, 10. You're right. Yes.
That's 10, so I got 5 left.
Yeah.
Definitely not taking Darius Slayton. I don't want to have to deal with him. He's so bad. So bad. DJ Moore's been pretty good in recent weeks. Think we're going to go that route. Let's go Moore and Schultz for my last $5. So I got Darnold, Manangai, Wandale Robinson, DJ Moore, and Dalton Schultz. Who do you want to go next, Job or Errol?
Errol.
All right, Errol, you're up.
I'm going to go Williams. I'm going to go Chubb. JSN. How much is that?
That's 10.
That's 10. I'm going to go Moore and Schultz.
All right. So I got Caleb, Chubb, JSN, Moore, and Schultz for Errol. Last but not least, Jabba Chamberlain.
I'm gonna go Sunshine. I'm gonna go Trevor Lawrence. Then I'm gonna go
Sunshine.
Love it. And then I'm gonna go Tracy, JSN. Then I'm gonna go. Let's go Adunze and Strange.
Ooh.
All right, so I got Trevor, Tracy, JSN, Rome, and Strange. I'll share the window real quick so you can see the whole board that we will uncover and reveal on next episode, where we will give out the winner. We'll get their compliments in the compliment chorus.
I'm the only one to take Trevor Lawrence. Yes.
Only one that took Trevor. I was the only one that took Darnold. A lot of Jackson Dart out there. A couple of Caleb's. We got a couple of Manangais, a couple of Chubbs and Tracy's out there. A lot of JSN takers. In fact, only me and Speedy didn't go with JSN. A lot of DJ Moore out there. And Higgins. Everyone's into Schultz. And people want some Strange here on Save Your Tears.
I've got two that nobody else picked. Trevor and Rome.
Yeah.
Well, did you get a chubby on that?
No chubby, but every time I pick somebody that doesn't win, they score like almost negative points.
Well, you know what happens, Jabba, when it doesn't go your way in this game, you can't do nothing about it. You got to save your tears.
Diarrhea down their leg. And
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Fish's Play of the Week.
This is great about sport. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
His play of the week.
And of course, I was late with the graphic on this one because I was talking smack. And here it is, guys. Fish's play of the week. And there's only one play that jumped to mind that I saw over the week that, I mean, I was watching this whole game. Errol, we talked about it. The Bears. The Bears have done some things with Ben Johnson that they have not done in many, many years. And trick plays are among them. Let's take a look at this one right here. We'll mute it. We don't need to listen to it. But this formation, let's just start off with this. This is an odd formation. The offensive line looks like they're in a goal line, double tight end wing, like you would see in Madden 93, trying to run it. Except there's only Caleb in the backfield. He's got two flankers. One's in tight, like sort of in a slot, and the other one's in kind of, I would say, less than 5 yards away from that wing. This is an empty goal line formation. I don't think I've ever seen this. And what Caleb does is he basically runs quarterback 9 or right quarterback sweep, but it's a double reverse pass. Take a look at this beautiful play. He starts off running like he's running quarterback sweep. Everyone's frozen to the front side of the defense. Gives it to Rome Odunze. He's acting. Oh, this is Caleb being an actor. He was at USC, took some classes. I'm not doing anything. The only guy who can cover him then runs away. And now Caleb is wide open.
You gotta do the Chris
pass.
Berman. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah,
Stumbling, bumbling, tumbling, rumbling into the end zone. Beautiful play. Really cool formation. Very interesting quarterback action on double reverse pass. That's why this one is Fish's play of the week.
Oh, panties dropper himself, Speedy Petey. Right? You a penny dropper, Speedy? Where did you get that from?
this makes my pecker hard.
Well, it made Jabba's pecker hard. I don't know about anybody else.
No, that was Tarek Scoopel.
No, that was Jabba. Jabba said it makes his pecker
Yeah,
hard.
because of Tarek Scoopel.
No, but I just said, are you a panty dropper? And Jabba just got hard off of it.
Highly doubtful.
No, he just said he got hard off of it.
Are you sure?
You just made my nipples hard.
You just made his nipples hard again. I don't know. What's going on with you tonight, man? I mean, you're a panty dropper. Now, listen, Speedy, we're in between certain people that you can pick, all right? Jessica Alber or Pamela Anderson.
I'll take the chance on whoever Jessica Alber is.
Jessica Alber.
Who is that?
Albur. It's
Alba.
like Bill Burr's cousin.
Alba.
Oh, yeah. Second cousin.
It's Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Oh, it's the fourth cousin, one removed, obviously.
Does Jessica Albers, does she fly into LaGuardia?
LaGuardia.
You know
Wait, where I have that.
It's LaGuardia, and that's how we speak it, and that's how we know it.
I had to take a shit.
As you take a shit, and Speedy likes to play with himself, and that's why he's a panty
Carl
dropper.
likes to play with himself.
Well, that's true too. I gotta find that too. I've lost that one. I haven't used that one in a while. Hold on. Here it is.
Carl plays with himself.
That's true. And
Droba is not an athlete. Droba.
there we go.
Droba.
Oh,
Speaking of not an athlete, Nathan, dude, can we please like do something with your wall? Like, I'm tired of seeing just bare ass walls.
well,
Serial killer style.
100%. He's hiding people in a deep freeze.
Now listen,
I'm surprised they
Nippin
have a wall
is
of hot ladies.
he's a single man, and
That's not an excuse.
he's a single man, and he likes gray walls. That's where he goes. You know, he gets gray, and he wants to sit in front of one.
You know who else like gray walls? Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of gray walls.
And you know who liked yellow walls? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we're going with this.
Well, I know where you're going, and that's why
Suck my Indo.
you can suck his Indo. That's what you should do. Anyways, Speedy's a panty dropper, and somebody's getting hard. I mean, somebody got a chubby tonight after that Save Your Tears, and I think his name is Jabba Chamberlain. Maybe that's why he lost all his hair. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little lost tonight, and we definitely know this guy is
Fish is not a panty dropper.
a panty dropper, as we all know. Anyways, yeah, Speedy's six-pack of the week.
Let's have a sixer.
Hey, who wants to play Drink the Beer?
It's time for the Speedy Six-Pack of the Week.
Doo-doo. Suck my Indo. Poops gets no cooch.
You gotta talk into the mic. You gotta use the mic. You gotta speak into the mic. Like, talk into the mic. Like, put the mic in your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
There we go. All right, so you're not talking into the mic. Bring the mic to your mouth.
Johnny Reno is in.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring the mic. Bring the mic up. Bring it up. Hold it.
We
There
can't
you
even
go.
see him.
Speedy's got like forest green on in his shirt, and he's disappearing into the background.
It figures that's what happens when your nickname is Speeder. All right.
So
Speedy, go shirtless.
God, nobody will want
Do
to
you
Get him
really
a jersey.
want to see this man
Get him a
without
jersey to put on.
I don't
I
want
bet
him.
Speedy's got great chest hair.
No, I don't.
You got like an old refrigerator Perry jersey for him or something? That'd be great.
No, I don't have that. And Speedy smells like mothballs, like his grandmother's house. So no, not gonna.
You want my cream pie?
No, I don't want your free pie.
All right, are we ready?
All right, let's go to the battle of the two purple teams to start. The Ravens are at the Vikings. The over/under is, or the Ravens are up 4.5 point spread. So West should be coming in a bit. So we'll go with me first. Then we'll go with Johnny. We'll go with Fish. We'll go to the coin of Java, and then we'll go with Errol after that. So I'm actually going to take the Vikings.
I need a blow pop.
I like this matchup, even if they don't win the game, to cover the spread. The Ravens secondary is a tough time. Minnesota's got a good passing game, so I'm going to go with the Vikings to cover the spread.
Who do you have winning?
I think the Ravens win the game.
Okay.
I think the Vikings cover the spread. They're not going to make it. Johnny, you're next. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Vikings on this plus the points. I just am not sold on how good the Ravens are this year. Still kind of question marks with Lamar Jackson. They had a good game. Whoop-de-doo. I kind of think the Vikings are the better team all around, better form. I'll take them plus the points at home. Good defense. I like that spread.
I'm taking Vikings, no doubt. I think this Vikings team might be for real. I think they're really well coached. And I think J.J. McCarthy's back, and I think they're a very different team than the Carson Wentz-led version of them. Give me the Vikings.
Is it my turn?
Nope,
Nope,
you got the
mine.
coin.
The Jabba Digicoin.
Heads.
All right, Java's on the Vikings too.
Yeah.
Can you customize the coin so like you're on the coin?
I think so. I can probably try it. I need to just I cashed in all my change, so I ain't got no real quarters.
And first of all, before I make my pick, Nathan, you post up pictures of people on our feed, and this blonde chick, and you say, this looks really good. Who the hell is that? I mean, where are we at here? I
It's
mean,
a good
seriously.
friend of his.
Yeah, I'm sure. In many different ways. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm going Baltimore. I think the game will be close, so I guess I'm picking the Vikings to cover.
All right, we'll go to the Tom Brady Bowl. The New England Patriots at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks are 2.5-point favorites at home. I'm going to take Tampa in this spot. Like Errol's mentioned, the Patriots have really strived off a weak schedule. I think they're due to lose at some point. Tampa gets healthy. Give me that.
By the way, I want to say something to Mikey C, who's posting up crap thinking that they won something. Mike, who is the Patriots beaten? Tell me who they've beaten before you come out and post things saying, oh, the Drake May effect. There is no effect. It's stupidity. When Drake May actually beats good teams, you can come and see me. Until then, zip of the lip, buddy. You're 50%. What did he say? He's 90% always right. He's 90% not wearing underwear. Let's go. Here we go. Yeah, Johnny.
This is the Bucks and Patriots.
At the Buccaneers.
Yeah, give me the Buccaneers here. Question on how healthy they are. Bucky Irving's still in practice today. He's on my fantasy team, by the way. But I'm questioning how healthy they are. But I do think the Patriots have benefited from a weak schedule. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game by at least a field goal. I really do like this offense. I really like Baker Mayfield. I'll take the Buccaneers.
Is Bucky Irving playing in this game?
He has not been at practice this week.
They said that they're going tomorrow. They said either Thursday or Friday they're going to get him on the practice field to see if he could be up for the challenge. If not this week, it'll be next week. But as of right now, we're going to wait until either Thursday, tomorrow, or Friday to get him on the field to see if he can run.
Kind of answering it for me, boys. That team has one big flaw, and it's they don't have their running back because their backups. Rashad White is not a starting running back in this league. They cannot run the ball right now, and their receivers are mostly hurt. So I just don't see them really moving the ball against the Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots, but if they have their guys, I think they're a better team. But right now, give me the Patriots.
And bam, we got tails.
Good job on the Patriots as well.
I'm going with the Buckies. I think the Buccaneers will win this game. I think Baker will put his team on his shoulder, and I think the Buccaneers defense, people forget this is one of the best defenses in the NFL. I like the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. Buckies are winning.
All right, one game that was used in Save Your Tears, the Cardinals at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 6.5-point favorites. I know Johnny and you, both you and also Wes have mentioned in the past, that's a lot for a division game. I'm going to take Arizona to cover the spread. I think Seattle wins the game. But the Cardinals defense, especially against the pass, has been very good with this young secondary. So I think they'll keep it close. Seattle wins, but Arizona covers.
I'm actually going to take the reverse of that. I think the Cardinals looked really, really good against the Cowboys. I will say that. They were getting chunked 8 to 12 yards a play, guaranteed. This is not the Cowboys. I think they're going to struggle offensively. Jakobi Brissett is Jakobi Brissett. He's a reliable backup quarterback. He will get you some wins. He manages the game. I don't think he has enough. I think Marvin Harrison finally had a good game. I think they're kind of limited to Trey McBride and Jakobi Brissett. If you kind of shut them down, I don't think they're going to move the ball that well against the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. I rarely lay this many points, but at less than a touchdown, I'll take Seattle.
Yeah, I'm all in on Seattle right now. I think it's a blowout. Give me Seattle.
Ooh, I like it. And the coin says, boom shakalaka, tails.
All right, Errol, what do you got?
All right, what we got here? I'm trying.
Seahawks at the Cardinals at the Seahawks. Seahawks 6.5-point favorites at home.
I got the Seahawks winning. I think the Cardinals will be in the game, but I have the Seahawks.
I will go to the other NFC West matchup with the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams are 2.5-point favorites. Or Rams are 4.5-point favorites, my bad. On the road, I'm going to take them in this spot. The Niners have been lucky with injuries so far, but I don't know if it lasts if the defense is that good. So give me the Rams, even though they're 4.5-point favorites.
I'm going to take the home team in this game, divisional matchup at home. You have a Niners team that really hasn't been healthy this year. They haven't looked great. They really can't stay healthy outside of CMC, who's been really good, a bright spot for them in this offense. I just like the points plus 4.5 at home, divisional matchup, 325 game in the afternoon. I just think that they're the Fox game of the week. I just think they got a lot of things on their side. They've been playing. They're still 6-3. This is a decent football team that really hasn't been at 100% health. So give me the Niners to keep this game close. They might win, but I'll take the points in my back pocket.
All right. Speedy, you got like the Harry Potter invisibility cloak going on when you keep moving around like that. But guys, I'm going right now with this Rams team. This Rams team banging on all cylinders. That 49ers team is piecing it together. It's going to be close because Shanahan's going to keep it close. These guys know each other real well, but I think the Rams will pull away late. Give me the Rams.
The Rams, and we've got at home getting ahead.
Got on the Niners. The Rammies are going to win this game. I can't stand the Niners, and I can't stand their coach. Yes, Owen, if you're listening to the show, I've got the Rams, and they get a kick the you-know-what out of the 49ers. Eat it, Owen. Where's that dress? Where's that wig? Where's the lipstick? I want to see that, baby.
All right, somebody that wants to see lipstick, Aaron Rodgers and his imaginary girlfriend traveled to LA to take
It's his hands.
Or his hand. They like to call it. All right, they're taking on the Chargers in LA on Sunday Night Football. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one here. I think it's a good spot for them. Their defense looked a lot better last week with that pass rush. The Chargers losing Joe Alt. I think that's a tough match. The Chargers can't run the ball either. I like the Steelers in this spot to win the game.
This game is one of those ugly games in prime time. I'm going to be on it some way. For this pick'em, I'll take the Steelers plus the points. The Chargers offense is really predicated on their line. If they don't have a line, they have struggled. They just lost one of their best linemen this week. So I do think they're going to struggle. But they did pick up somebody in his place for at least going forward. Give me the Steelers to cover, maybe win the game, but I think this is an ugly game either way.
I just don't think it's going to be a good football game. I think it's going to be just an ugly game. It's unfortunately a game that we're all going to be subjected to. I assume it's going to be like a field goal game. So what was the spread on this one?
Chargers
3.5. I have 3.5.
Okay.
You want my cream pie?
I said Chargers 3.5 plus 3.5.
Come up my ass.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Chargers are favored by 3.5.
Favored. All right, well then give me Steelers in the points.
Oh my ass.
I'd say it's 50-50 they win, and I don't think they win. If they lose by more than 3. So give me the Steelers.
Breaking news. I'm putting you on a leash now.
No leash for my coin, and my coin is getting headed home again.
A lot of hot ladies.
How about on the Chargers?
I need him because I get.
All right. What do we got? What game?
So it's Steelers at the Chargers. The Chargers are 3.5 point favorites.
Chargers are the favorites?
Yep.
Is it in LA?
LA.
Give me the Chargers on the points.
All right, we'll finish it off with Monday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are 2.5 point favorites at home. I actually like him in this spot, though, because they're off a bad loss to the Panthers. And Fish, you even mentioned it during the whip around. Like, Jordan Love has these really bad games, but can have some amazing ones mixed in there. The Eagles, new piece on defense. I think they'll get some time to sort it out. I think the bye week hurts, but give me the Packers.
I'm going to take the Packers at home. I'm not really sold on this Eagles team. They're definitely not as good as they were last year. I do think that the Packers can win this game outright, but they can definitely do it by the spread. I like their offense in this spot. It is Monday Night Football. I think the Eagles have benefited from kind of some fortunate circumstances in a few of their games. I think that doesn't happen in Green Bay. So give me the Packers to cover the spread at -2.5.
Yeah, Eagles reloaded at the deadline. They are run by the best
Buck
general
quote.
manager
I am a legend.
in all of football. I think they're going to come out of the bye firing on all cylinders. Give me the Eagles.
As long as she's using dude wipes and taking care of my 2-hole, I'm good.
Still getting headed home, boys. Still getting headed home.
Another toe job. Yeah.
I mean, she can use her feet if she wants.
I've got the Packers. Packers win. Jordan Love has a big day. If you have him on your fantasy team, 40 points, baby. Give me Jordan.
Every time I start him, he's terrible. Every time I bench him, he has like 35 points. That's Jordan Love.
All right. So listen, Jordan Love's going to have a big day. I'm going Jordan Love, baby. Jordan Love. Let's give him some love, as we all
That went over like a fart in church.
know. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we call this Let's Parlay.
It's time for Let's Parlay.
Now, Johnny, I am wearing a Danny Dimes jersey. This is Danny Dimes. I'll show you. I want all the fans to check it out. Hold on. I'm going to turn around for everybody to check out this beautiful, fitted, made jersey for all you fans. Hold on.
It's just too bad you became a fan after he left New York. I guess you were never a Giants fan.
First of all, just so you know, I was always a Danny Dimes fan. Always. And I'm one of very few people that thought Danny Dimes was the real deal, and he is. So eat it, Reno. Go back to San Antonio. I mean, you are it.
That's it.
I
got a couple.
Well, Wembanyama's kicking ass, so you have something to watch over there.
He he had a bad game against the Suns, but he is looking up great.
Don't worry, he'll get hurt, like I predicted.
For me, it's his body type is just like I don't know sustainability. So I'm kind of worried about that. But NBA season's like so new right now. We're focused on the NFL and college football. That's winding down. Just seems like yesterday where we were in week 0. Gonna start there actually for one of my first plays. It's one of the forgotten games, but it is, if you followed me, it is a must. It's actually, if you're gonna hang out with me, if Hawaii's playing the final game of the day in Hawaii and you don't have action on it, you can't hang out. So we will have action on that game. They're catching a touchdown and a hook versus San Diego State. You got 2 6-win teams, 6-3 and 7-1 San Diego State. Like these are pretty good teams here coming out the Mountain West. You know, obviously they're not making much than a mid bowl, but a good. This should be a good matchup. I don't like the 7.5. I think 7.5 is way too many points for San Diego State. I think Hawaii can win this game outright. I think they're always a tough place to play, even when they are having a really bad year. But I'm kind of a fan of what they've done there in Hawaii with their new coach. He was there. This is now his 3rd year, I believe. They got a guy that's thrown for 2,100 yards. Can run the ball decently well. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think that this game can come down to the final possession. So I'll take the plus points in this matchup. It's one of my favorite games of the card, actually, and I love it because it's that last spot when everybody's asleep and I can kind of relax and finally watch the game by myself.
All right, so all right, let's go with number 2. Wow,
yeah,
he
had to deal with his kid. He couldn't make it.
Damn you, Wes.
Well, it's a kid. I'm telling you, man, they run our lives. So we're going to head to the NFL in this spot, and we're going to take a team that I'm high on, and I've been high on, and I think is going to win the Super Bowl. And I've said it from week 1. I don't care that some of the I'm getting there. Some of their games in the middle of the year have not done well, but I think the Bills are for real. I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Aren't you a Bills fan?
I'm a big Bills fan, but since 2024, I'm a new Bills fan. I admit that. But if you look at what Josh Allen is doing with the receivers he has 2 tight ends that could be the same person. You got this guy named Khalil and another guy named Keon Coleman. Those are his receivers. So he's doing a lot, the most with the least. I do think they win this game. I do think they're going to blow out the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are just in a weird spot. They fired their GM. People think they should have fired their coach.
I don't care.
Made it a freaking racial issue, I guess. I don't know. This whole organization is really, they need to restart. The GM's been there for 20 years and they haven't done anything with it. They're at home, so I think that's a dangerous spot catching the 8.5. I just don't see them being able to put up the points that Josh Allen will be able to put up in that spot. I'm going to lay it. And this is a weird, I don't like laying that many points, but I will do that in that spot. The other game I like in the NFL is going to be, and we kind of gave this out already, but it's one of my top plays. I like the Seahawks. I just am not sold on Jakobi Brissett. They are going to go with him probably the rest of the year. We're missing 4 more games for Kyler Murray. By the time he's even healthy and ready to come back, they probably don't even play him the rest of the year. So they're going to give the keys to the car to Jakobi Brissett. Not really sold on him or this offense. They don't really have a running game. It showed against Dallas, which is great. And, you put me 10 of the guys and I'm running for 150 on Dallas. So that really didn't impress me that much. So give me the Seahawks to cover that spread. And then the last game, I'm going to go back to college if I can get there. A couple notes here. It's going to be a Friday night game, Tulane versus Memphis. I think this is a good spot to take Tulane at plus a 3.5. Now, Tulane just came off a terrible play against UTSA where they gave up 50-plus points or 40-plus points, something insane. Lost. They scored 19 points. This is such a bounce-back spot. Memphis at 8-1. Remember, we're kind of still in this. Memphis is in still that the top-rated team outside of the Power 4 for playoff contention. I don't think they're going to get there. I think Tulane wins this game outright. I will take the points in my back pocket. I think it's a great bounce-back spot for them after getting lambasted by UTSA to come in on the road and win a good game against a good Memphis team.
All right. The Knicks are laying the smacketh on the Timberwolves right now. They're just smacking them. The game's over practically. I think it's over in about 30 seconds. But it looks like the Knicks are going to come up with a win. They'll be 5-3. This might give them that confidence. And maybe, listen, I think it's going to take 25 games for the Knicks to get where they want to be and build the confidence with the season. But Knicks fans are having a heart attack because they're 4-3 right now and they're in 6th place in the Eastern Conference. Guys, relax. I expect the Knicks to win 60 to 62 games this year, and they're going to be fine. I really do. And once Karl Anthony Towns realizes shooting 80-foot jumpers don't work, we'll be fine. So I could book that one. So, 5 hot garbage teams. That's fine. They're still winning. They're still NBA teams. You got to beat them. And Anthony Edwards is still on this roster. And by the way, Julius Randle's pretty damn good too. So, whatever. Anyways, Reno, Johnny, thank you.
I'll be back next week. Or I'm actually out next week. I'm out next week. I'll be in Mexico.
What are you going to do in Mexico?
Next week. I have my wife's friends getting married out there, and we were invited. So
don't drink the water. Don't drink the water.
We have spent the money, the hotel, the flights are booked. The kid has a babysitter, so it's me and the wife down in Mexico for a couple days.
Time with the woman.
Enjoy.
You're gonna use the paddles? What?
Oh, we're gonna use whatever we got in the hotel room.
There you go. Paddle it up, my friend. Paddle it up. Take it to the brim, baby.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, I'll be back.
You're a basketball player. You should take it to the rim, if you know what I mean.
I'm gonna try. See how much I have to drink down there.
Make sure you're safe over there so you don't score, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
The Baby Maker. Go to Cancuni with Mexicano. So there you go. Reno Johnny's going to Mexico, enjoying his wedding with the wifer. Speedy, you have a hidden wife somewhere? I don't know. Any girls? Any speedsters?
No.
Any speedy delivery, if you know what I mean? No. Are you delivering the cake? No. Are you patting the whiskers? Are you beating
that's Snug's department.
Are you beating the meat? Are you slamming the salami?
No. Hiding the whiskers is Snug's department. She loves all the cats.
Are you popping the corn in the hole?
No. Okay. No, corn. That's one state over from Java, so that we'll trust him.
Are you slipping the pony?
No, that's Chaz's department. You're naming everyone else. Horse racing, corn, cats.
Are you priesting the Judas? You know what I mean?
No.
I figured. You don't know. It's okay, Speedy. You're a little lost. Are you going to Tim the Donahue?
I will not answer that.
Connie beats. Anyways, yeah, let's go to a break. We have In Like Flynn. No goodies bag of balls tonight. We have King of the Hill, and somebody smells like mothballs. It might be the old speedster. So we're going to help him out. We have What's That Smell as well. All right, let's go to break. Bing.
This is the Jabba and the Mouth Sports Minute.
All right, guys. Aaron Fishman here with your Sports Minute. Got a couple of stories before we get into the scores this evening. In some under-the-radar news on Monday, Fox NFL Sunday color commentator and legendary quarterback Tom Brady is so good at staying young, death no longer will stop him from keeping his life going how he wants it to be. Apparently, after Brady lost his dog Lua in 2023, some of Lua's blood was used in order to clone her into his new dog, Junie. Brady celebrated the company who gave him his genetically engineered animal, Colossal Biosciences, earlier this year on Instagram when they successfully cloned a direwolf back into existence after they went extinct near the end of the last ice age. Well, extinct outside of House Stark and Game of Thrones. Brady shocked many in an article in People magazine where he revealed the miracle puppy, who is a carbon copy of his old dog. I love my animals. They mean the world to me and my family, he told People magazine. A few years ago, I worked with Colossal and leveraged their non-invasive cloning technology through a simple blood draw of our family's elderly dog before she passed. Colossal Biosciences is setting its sights on the woolly mammoth as its next animal to bring back in its de-extinction efforts. Colossal added cloning to its inventory of services after acquiring the company Viagen, who famously cloned pets for movie stars Barbra Streisand and Paris Hilton. It certainly appears that the great TB12 isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and if he is, we may end up with TB13, 14, and so on, even if he does. Every so often in tennis, we have debates over men's tennis and women's tennis. There have been plenty of men who believe that they would easily beat the top women in the sport, even if the men are washed-up former players, going back to the famous Battle of the Sexes in the 1970s between legendary women's tennis player and feminist icon Billie Jean King and a 55-year-old former Wimbledon champion Bobby Riggs, who had just beaten the top Australian women's player trying to get King to face him. King won the match in a historic moment during the 70s feminist movement. Well, it appears we are about to have a redux of the famous match from half a century ago in Dubai on December 28th, when women's #1 player in the world, Aryna Sabalenka, will take on Nick Kyrgios, who has not played regularly in a few years, dealing with injury, and is ranked lower than 600 in the world currently. Kyrgios has been outspoken about how the match would go, and apparently in Dubai, there will be a market for this exhibition. She is not going to beat me. Do you really think I have to try 100%? I'm going to try, because I'm representing the men's side. I'd say like 6'2", maybe, Kyrgios claimed. I'm not going to go there and say, oh, she's so good, I can't play this. That would make me look so bad. I'd imagine the internet would go crazy, go bananas. I mean, our serves, women can't really return those. And then we can just chip and drop shot. I think I'm going to be okay. I'm going to go there, and I don't want her to win, that's for sure. Regardless of whether or not you believe Kyrgios or not, we are sure to have an interesting spectacle after Christmas this year, considering Sabalenka is no soft-spoken opponent, having issues with numerous competitors throughout the 2025 season. In basketball, it's still going tonight. It's 107-94 Rockets over the Grizzlies with 7:09 left in the fourth. 3:37 in the third. It's 71-68 Pelicans over the Mavericks in Dallas. It's about 3 minutes left in the second before the half. It's 59-57 Nuggets over the Heat. Still to come tonight, Lakers, Spurs, Trailblazers, Thunder, Kings, Warriors. And finals tonight, the Knicks just defeated the Timberwolves 137-114, getting 83 points in the second half, coming back after being down a few points at halftime. Also finals already tonight, the Cavaliers 132, the 76ers 121, behind a season-high 46 points for Donovan Mitchell. 114-103, the Pistons beat the Jazz. 112-103, the Nets get their first win of the season over the also 1-7 Indiana Pacers. And the Celtics beat up on the Wizards at home, 136-107. In hockey, still going tonight, we've got, oh, this one needs to be refreshed. Let's see it. We got the Flames 2, the Blue Jackets 1 with 9:34 in the first. Just underway, the Canucks and Blackhawks, and the Sharks and Kraken. Final earlier tonight, Maple Leafs 5, Mammoth 3, and Capitals 6, Blues 1. Guys, we are streaming live on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube on our Job on the Mouth handle, on Facebook under the Worldwide Sports Radio Network handle, and on Twitter under our host handle at EarlMarks34. Keep downloading on Apple Podcasts and watch us both there and on Spotify. Now in video. Make sure to like and subscribe to all our shorts, reels, TikToks, and longer videos that you see from us throughout the week. Now back to Errol, Jabba, and Speedy for our next segment on Jabba and the Mouth.
Any questions?
What is this? We're back. This is the Jabba and the Mouth Show.
One 672-3108 is the number to call. You're listening to Jabba and the Mouth. I am your host, Danny Dimes. My co-host, Jabba, a.k.a. Flamethrower Chamberlain. And Speedy, I need a white shirt, Speedy. Let's see you, Speedy. Pop right in. There you are. Let's see it. There's nothing. There it is. He's wearing a white shirt and lovely as can be. Yeah, go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Check out all our shows throughout the week, including Jabba and the Mouth every single Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. All you have to do to tune in and check out all local listings for all the shows is go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com. Jabba, what are we brought to you by?
Oh, yeah. We're brought to you by, you didn't obviously read, but it's okay.
Right.
What? What'd you say?
I said, all right. No, I didn't. Was I supposed to read something?
No, you're good. You're good. No, brought to you by Veteran Renovations. Marine owned. Been doing it for 30 years. Siding, windows. Running a special right now for new customers. $1,000 off new windows. Look them up at veteranrenovationsne.com or find them on X, Instagram, and all the other stuff at Veteran Reno NE. Look them up on all socials. Give them a call, mention the show, and get a discount.
There you go. Somebody needs to let loose, and somebody needs some renovations. Speedy, you need renovations in many different ways. You might need renovations somewhere in that crotch area, if you know what I mean. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into In Like Flynn, I just want to mention there are two new stories up. And by the way, Nathan, I love you. Okay, we have wonderful stories. Why are you writing about the Westchester Golden Rams? I know you love women's soccer and you like going to the games. I love you, Nathan. Go check out two new stories. I have one on Joel Embiid, 7 feet of excuses, the Joel Embiid legacy. It's a great article I wrote. And also today, the latest one, Matthew Schaefer, the new savior of the Islanders and the ghost of Beanbag Tavares. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is great articles. I've posted them. Check them out. I've wrote them. I've put a lot of time into them. And I definitely want people to check out some of the stuff. You definitely have my humor on it. Speedy, am I wrong or right? You definitely got my humor. So I promise you. It's definitely must read. And if you haven't read it, well, shame on you. We call this In Like Flynn.
Oh, my lady, I've often heard that you give me a warm welcome if ever we met again.
Like Flynn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do this every single week. And I want to say something. We had Tim Donaghy on the show, and I wanted to do something with basketball. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight, I am going to grade the top 10 guards in the NBA. That's right. You heard it from me. I'm going to give you. So I was looking around, and Hoopshype is one of those big websites. I was looking and scoping out which one I want to go through. I don't want to go through ESPN because I don't like ESPN and what ESPN posts up. So I'm going to go with this one. I thought it was very interesting how they graded these guys. So at number 10, they have Tyrese Maxey from Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey is averaging, well, last year he was averaging 26.3 points per game, 6.1 assists per game, and about 3.3 rebounds a game. I would say about 4 ratio of that, and 43.7 field goal percentage. He's averaging $37 million a year. I would have thought they would have graded him higher. I think that Joel Embiid has not been healthy, and it's been on this kid to really take over and really be the leader of this team. He doesn't cry to the media. He goes out and he plays the damn game, and I think he's definitely higher than 10. So I'm going to go to number 9, and I'm going to tell you why I would even put Maxey ahead of this guy, De'Aaron Fox. And De'Aaron Fox at number 9 is interesting with San Antonio, and I would put De'Aaron Fox at number 10, by the way, because I think that's where he sits. De'Aaron Fox can't stay healthy. With his talent, it's you can't argue the talent of this kid. He can do everything. 26.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 6.1 assists per game. It's almost identical to Tyrese Maxey, but he plays with Wembanyama, and I just think that you're playing with one of the best young big men in the league. I think that obviously you have that kind of star in the team. I don't think Philadelphia has enough of Joel Embiid and not enough of him playing because he doesn't play back-to-backs. I would put De'Aaron Fox over at 10. So that's where I would put De'Aaron Fox at number 10. I would move Maxey even down lower. At number 8, Ja Morant. Now, Ja Morant is one of the most accurate players in all of sports, especially in the NBA. His high-flying dunks, special, but his gun charges and the stupidity off the court really hurts him on the court. And it definitely hurts his play. You can see it. He's making $39 million a year, averaging 23.2 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, and his field goal percentage is 45.4. He is a great player. There's no question that he is, but I'm definitely going to make him dip. And he is going to dip to number 9 on my grade. At number 8, this is where I would put Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey deserves a little bit more credit that where they're putting him. And a lot of different leagues and different papers and articles have put him as a top 10 point guard. I would put him at 8. Number 7, James Harden. Now, I wouldn't put James Harden in my top 10, okay? I know how talented he is. He is a prolific offensive player, averaging 22.8 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 8.7 assists per game, and a 41.0 field goal percentage. He did win an MVP. I would not put him in my top 10. I'm not a big fan of the one and only James Harden just because of his inconsistency and his double dribbling, because he likes to hold the ball. We've said that the step backs are a little out there, so I would not put him in my top 10. At number 7, I am going to put the one and only Trae Young. They got him on at number 6. I think he's a little bit higher. Trae Young, 24.2 points per game, 3.1 rebounds per game, 11.6 assists per game, 41.1 field goal percentage. He's a great player. He's got an ability to shoot the 3. He doesn't make anybody around him better in my eyes. I don't care if he's averaging 11.6 per game. They're at the end of the game, and the Hawks are a horrible team. I don't think he makes the team around him better. I think that he should be going somewhere else and maybe has an opportunity to be a star somewhere else. I would put him at 7. At number 6, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me on this, but I'm going to go this route because I just think that he's a lot better there, and I'm bringing it up right now. I am going to go, ladies and gentlemen, this year, not because of his back end of his career and everything like that. This year, I'm going to go LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, when playing, this guy is as good as anybody in the league at his position. I think he can pass. He averaged 7.4 assists per game last year, 4.9 rebounds per game, 25.2 points per game. He's playing on a bad team, 40.5 field goal percentage. He's a great three-point shooter. He's the best of the Ball brothers. There's no question that he is. I do believe he is that good, and I think he's going to be even better when they put a bunch of players around him. I don't get why they haven't yet, but it is the Charlotte Hornets, and they are a terrible, terrible organization. So I would put him at number 6. At number 5, I would agree with this. I will agree with this. They got Steph Curry. And Steph Curry, who's still a sensational guard. There's no question that he is. He averages 24.5 points per game last year, 4.4 rebounds per game, 6.0 assists a game, 6.0 assists per game, 44.8 field goal percentage. He is a great overall player. He's making a lot of money, $59 million. He can shoot the three. He's the best three-point shooter in the league still to this day. He makes everybody around him better, but he's falling. And one of the reasons why is there's a much younger players and much younger talent in the NBA right now. So I would agree. I would put Steph Curry in the top 5, but at 5. Number 4, they have Cade Cunningham. Now, this guy, to me, should be much higher. I think this guy is as good as any point guard in the league. He's playing on the Detroit Pistons, okay? The Pistons. Now, he can't stay healthy. Last year was the first year I can remember that he stayed healthy since he was drafted. 26.1 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, 9.1 assists per game, 46.9 field goal percentage. This guy makes everybody around him better. So I think he's a little higher than this. At number 4, I would put, they have him at number 3, but until he proves himself in the big game, I'm going to take him out of the top 3. I'm putting my guy, Jalen Brunson, at number 4. Jalen Brunson averages 26.0 points per game, 2.9 rebounds per game, 7.3 assists per game, a field goal percentage of 48.8, which is one of the highest in the league. He's played great ball. He's made the Knicks a contender over the last couple of years and might jump to an MVP candidate this year. We have to see if he's more consistent in certain parts of the season. I would put him at 4, and at number 3, I am going to put Luka Doncic. They have him at number 2. Luka Doncic is, I don't consider him a point guard. I would say he is a guard. You could put him at the 2. You could put him at the 3. He can play multiple positions. A point guard, I don't know. 28.2 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, 7.7 assists per game, a 45.0 field goal percentage. I think Luka is one of the best players in the league. I would put him in my top 3 in the league. As a guard, no. I'm not putting him in my my top 2. I would put Luka at 3. I'm sorry, because I said he wasn't in my top 3. He is. Luka is number 3. At number 2, I would put Cade Cunningham. I think Cade Cunningham is that great of a player. He's special. I might even jump him to number 1 by the end of this season. He is so good, so special. And when he plays at the top of his game, I don't think there's anybody better than him at the position. You saw what he did against the Knicks in round 1. It wasn't because of him that they lost in that series. It was just no depth by the Detroit Pistons. He put the team on his shoulders. He played well. I'm not going to say Cade is not an elite player. He is absolutely elite at number 2. And at number 1, I would agree with them. There's no doubt about it. The MVP of the league, Shai Alexander. He wears these ugly outfits, as you guys put it. But he has style, baby. He has style. And I love his family life. I love everything about him on and off the court. I love that he's a great teammate. I love his potential as an elite point guard in this league. There's nothing bad to say about this guy. 3.7 points per game last year, 5.0 rebounds per game, 6.4 assists per game, 1.7 steals per game, 51.9 field goal percentage, which is the best out of any guard in the league. He is as good as anybody, and he's underpaid, $38 million a year. When you look at the top guards in the league, he's taking less money, and he's that special. I think he's the best of the best, and will be considered the Jordan-like player if he continues on this trajectory. He is a great defender, too. This guy can play two-way basketball as good as anybody. I don't think there's a better two-way basketball player at his position in the league. That's how good he is at the position. He can defend any guard in the league at a high level. Give me Shai Alexander at number 1. And why somebody skipped him in our league all the way to 4 to me makes no sense. But whoever did, thank you very much. I'm loving it. Shai Alexander, number 1. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the top 10 point guards, in my view, in the NBA. What do you think, Speedy?
I like your stance. I did not turn my mic.
There you go. You're this is what happens when you're not a producer anymore.
Yeah, no, I was turning it on to make sure there were no background noises, but nevertheless, yeah, I like your Stephen Curry spot. I think 5 is very good for it. I think I'm surprised you actually had Brunson a little lower, but your reasoning was good.
Brunson hasn't done it in the big game, and until he gets this team over the hump to the finals, I just don't know if he shows up in the games that he needs to show up in. I want to see him do that. If he does it this year, I know a lot of people, aka Steve Smith, thinks he's an MVP candidate. I don't know. I want to see the Knicks pick up the pace. This is a new coach. Mike Brown is going to get them right, I believe, and in the right rotation on this roster. So, but yeah, I don't think he's in the top 3. And I would put Luka, even though I don't think Luka is in my top 2, he is in my top 3. I corrected.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's so hard to like. Some of them are pretty obvious, but like Luka's just tough if they're going to put him on the list. Like, is he truly genuinely a point guard? Like, it's just tough now with, I mean, everybody brings the ball up really.
He's under guard. He's under 3. He's under 3. He's under 2. He could be multiple positions in fantasy. He does bring the ball up. He's not, I don't think I would consider him a guard. That's just my opinion. I would think he's the elite of threes in the NBA. I think he's great. I just don't put him. I don't put him in my top 2.
I wouldn't put him as a point guard either. But
Cade Cunningham is special, man. That kid is special. And if he could stay healthy, I think he could be even the best guard in the league. That's how good he is. I love watching him play. Really, really do. And maybe I'm not going to say a future Nick because I love Jaelen. I'm not going to say that, but he has ties in New York. There is.
I mean, he's only 24.
I know, and does he want to stay in Detroit? I mean, come on, who wants to stay in Detroit?
The new arena's sweet.
Yeah, but it's Detroit.
But that whole downtown area, they put over $1 billion in it.
I guess you're right. I know you were there. And I know you will stick up for Detroit.
Well, no. I mean, it's crazy, too, that Dan Gilbert's from there, and he put half of the money in.
Yeah, and he doesn't put half the money into Ohio.
I know, crazy. And he owns the casino in Detroit, too.
Figure that one out.
He's still probably the best owner of 3 Cleveland sports teams, though.
Well,
probably, yeah. I mean, well, the new Cleveland one, the baseball's name.
Somebody needs
the other Dolan.
Somebody needs to smack him. Somebody needs to smack Mr. Gilbert around. LeBron tried to. This didn't work. And then he went back there and won him a championship. Makes me sick. Anyways, yeah, that was in Like Flynn this week. I think it was a good one. I really do. And I did that for Tim Donaghy for joining us. I know he's a huge basketball guy. And that's for you, Timmy. We love you. That was a great interview, by the way. It really was. And I wanted to be polite, and I was. Beanie, what did you think of the interview?
I thought it was fantastic.
I did, and I wanted to make sure that I had fun with it. And I know he's not a big fan of David Stern. I kind of threw it out there. Like, I put, a worm on the pole, and I said, oh, well, David Stern really changed the league for the better. And he gave me a look, and then I was like, okay, all right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. But It was a great interview. All right, no goodies bag of ball, so we got King of the Hill.
Here's the King of the Hill.
This, Bobby, is the belt line. You never, ever hit below that.
Not that kind of King of the Hill, you dumb. Ready? This is King of the Hill.
Yummy.
All right. Guys, welcome back to King of the Hill! Everyone's favorite trivia competition game. We're going to get a chance to take on the king. I believe, who was the last king that we had?
Errol won.
Errol won? All right, so Errol back in the rightful seat as king tonight. First round, it's everybody versus to get a chance to get to be finalists, to take each other on in the joust in round 2, where you win a chance to take on the king. And all of your competitors will get a chance to vote on if they want you to stay the king or to be changed to a new king for next time. Are you guys ready to play King of the Hill? All right. Nobody's ready to play, but here we go.
I'm ready to play. I'm
Put
trying
this
to
one
be
up.
polite here. I don't.
I'm ready. My string. You know when your strings on your hoodie get all jacked up? It was bugging me.
Diarrhea down their leg and like
All
a
right,
serial killer.
All right, I got it. Here we go. Here's the King of the Hill format. Let's get it back up here. And now we're going to go for the first one. And this is a general sports topic tonight. No specific sports. I just want to hear who you think are the most famous athletes of all time.
Now,
We can get
I'm
other
gonna give you
people in
guys
on the back as well.
I'm going to
Nathan?
give you guys a tip. If I'm voting, don't go a route that I think you're going to go. Just telling you. Just throwing that curve.
Nathan, if you want to get in, you can get in on this. If you're not, watching some of your
Sebastian
your
could get
girls',
on it
videos.
if he wants. He wants. He can
Sebastian,
go
if you want to get in, you can get in.
Yeah.
All right, so this is how it works. Nathan, you gonna play?
No, I'm good.
You don't want to play. All right, bye, Nathan.
Yeah, he probably's got no pants on right now. You just can't.
I was gonna say, what exactly was he watching?
That was
on
quick, wasn't it? That was quick.
It was like, oh,
Breaking
no,
news. A lot of
my
hot
browser's
ladies.
open. All right, a lot of hot ladies.
I gotta
Nathan.
go back
Enjoy
off,
that, whatever, if it's your girl Lisa that was on the screen or not, I don't know. But here it is, most famous athletes of all time. You're going to pick any athlete and tell us why he's the most famous or one of the most famous of all time. You can have 3 total picks on this one. All right, and here it goes. We'll do this order, the way that it's lined up down below. Jabba, you're going to go first, followed by Jarrett, Speedy, and Sebastian. You're going to go 2 times in a row because it'll snake back down the other way like a fantasy draft. Here we go. Jabba, start us off.
All right. Well, I'm kind of know where Errol probably is leading, whatever. But I'm gonna kind of keep it old school with some new school. But I'm gonna have to go Cassius Clay because that's what his mama named him. And then obviously became Muhammad Ali. I think just the way that he, transcended a sport, but also a culture and how, he did things in a different way that hadn't been seen before as far as moxie, as far as personality, and, took a sport that, obviously was huge at the time, but kind of, with the Thrill in Manila and all the other stuff that he did to make it a more global sport is just that famous category is definitely him on the Mount Rushmore for sure.
Jared.
All right. Errol kind of scared me off a certain route, so I'm going to go kind of more American here. We're going to go with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is basketball around the world. I don't think there's a more famous basketball player. You can include LeBron, Curry, whoever. They're not more famous than Michael Jordan. Just based off his own name, it created $1 billion company just off his own name and his shoes. So it's Michael Jordan.
Speedy.
All right, I'll go similar route to Jabba. Take another boxer. I'll take Mike Tyson, a heavyweight for his era too. It's probably a video game named after him. And obviously, before the whole ear-biting incident you guys talked about a few weeks ago, that he was thought of as like one of the just overall greatest guys in boxing, and obviously won a ton of heavyweight championships.
Sebastian for 2. You got to unmute yourself though.
There we go. I muted because it was back end sound.
All right, so here we go. So my first pick, I'm gonna go Tom Brady. I mean, he's the greatest football player to ever grace the football field. 7 rings. I mean, that's a no-brainer in my opinion. Any football fan, you ask them who's the GOAT, they're gonna say Tom Brady. So I'm gonna go Tom Brady, and then since I pick again, I'm gonna follow on the route Jared is with basketball. I'm gonna say LeBron. I mean, he's after Jordan. I guess name-wise, LeBron's next. I mean, everybody talks about LeBron every day. He's the all-time NBA leading scorer. So that's going to be my picks. Tom Brady and LeBron.
Speedy!
All right, I'll do the first baseball one. We'll go Babe Ruth. Great Bambino, obviously still popular references even after he played, even after he passed away. But Sandlot and so many other things. And obviously,
Colossus of clout.
Yes. And even a little,
Butt plug.
I don't know if it's directly named after him, but I can even name it after him with the Baby Ruth bar and baseball cards galore. There's branding that still goes on for almost 100 years now with that man.
I want her melons.
Jared! Oh no, Jared's frozen.
All right,
He's frozen.
I'll take the chance. I
No, we
believe
can
this
hear
guy.
you. Keep talking.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
We hear you.
I'm gonna take the chance and go the athlete that has the most followers, I believe, on social media of anybody, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world. And then Cristiano Ronaldo is the biggest name in soccer, has been for the last 20 years. I think he has over 1 billion social media followers on each platform. It's just ridiculous how famous that is.
Very good point. Jabba for 2!
I'm gonna go on a different route too. I'm gonna go Tiger Woods. For how obviously global golf has been. Obviously, it wasn't invented in the United States, but when he came about, how it moved the needle to not only, to young kids, made it cool. I mean, he was the first guy. You talk about Jordan and a logo that TW still lives, and to do what he's done and to have the controversy and still be loved in the way that he is in the game of golf and around, I think it has to be him and what he's done for the game of golf. And my second one, I'm gonna go the dude in the water in Michael Phelps, because in a sport that I didn't care at all for. I mean, obviously I love going to the pool in the summer, but you would turn the TV on to watch this dude. And he made it cool to smoke weed and swim. And for anybody that can make swimming cool and smoking weed, that's pretty damn good in my book.
Jared!
Titties.
All right. Pro wrestling's not a sport, but pro wrestlers are athletes. And this guy played football in college. So I'm going to go with The Rock. The Rock is one of the most famous actors in the world, and he is and was an athlete. I mean,
I thought you were going to say
I
Bill
think he's the most
Goldberg
highest
for a
paid actor
second.
in Hollywood right now. No.
That's a good one, Jared. I like that.
Roger.
Very creative. Speedy!
All right, I'll take the other big name soccer player in this generation. That's Lionel Messi. Now, obviously, going to MLS areas now in Miami, and he's very popular over there. MLS is like where all the washed-up soccer players allegedly go, and
I need a blow pop.
Messi's kind of created a whole soccer culture there in a state in Miami that's a football state with college football and the NFL and a little bit the NBA. But those fans also left the game during Game 6. So
Blow job.
just that, but I'll go Messi.
All right, and last pick of the round, Sebastian.
Speedy took my pick, so I'm going to go with my backup pick. I'm going to stick to basketball. I'm going to say Steph Curry. He's the greatest shooter of all time. Kids nowadays, they're obsessed with shooting 3-ball from all the way down court. You hear Kobe when they shoot, but they're starting to play like Curry now, so I'm going to go with Steph Curry as my last pick.
All right, Errol, who's moving on to the joust?
I'm going to go different tonight. I'm going to go Jabba and Jared.
All right. We've got the two moving on. Speedy
I like
and
the Babe Ruth,
Sebastian.
Speedy. I like the Babe Ruth. I like your takes. I'm going to go another route. I want to see what these guys got.
All right, guys, pop back off camera until the last round when we vote on the new king. Here we go, round 2, the joust. Best announcers in all of sports history. Now, this could be any type of announcer, from people that do the PA in the stadium, to play-by-play guys, to color guys, to anyone that's on the radio or television, all time. All right, best announcers in sports history. Errol, who's going first?
Let's go, Jared.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna go Vin Scully first. I think when you talk about just iconic baseball announcers, that's one of the first names that's going to come to mind. So many legendary calls with him. The Gibson home run is the first call I think of when I'm thinking of a great announcing call. So I'll go with Vin Scully.
Jabba.
I'm gonna stay the baseball route, and I'm gonna go Mel Allen. This week in baseball is just that the theme song and that voice, and Mel Allen obviously starting with the Yankees as a play-by-play, and just how that show you got, it was the prerequisite to what everything is in the recap shows, and his voice is something that I'll never forget, and was lucky enough to have that. And I was going to go Vin Scully because I was fortunate enough to have my name come out of his mouth, which was super, super dope.
Joba, smack my ass.
Jared.
He pronounced it right though.
Groba.
I'm gonna go with Mike Breen. I think, especially the last 20 years, the best basketball announcer going, play-by-play, just awesome. Calling completely. Yeah, he's the man. Just incredible play-by-play work. The bangs. Every single call, and I think just his knowledge of the game, even if he's calling a Knicks game on national TV, to be completely unbiased in every game, even when he's calling just a Knicks broadcast. I'll turn I watch the Knicks on League Pass constantly just because I'm gonna get Breen and Frazier. That's the best announced team in the business right now.
All right, Jabba.
I'm gonna go Jack Buck. I absolutely just love Jack Buck and just what he did, and obviously kind of a homer just because I got to listen to him a little bit more, being in the Midwest and growing up with that, and it just synonymous with how many World Series, obviously, and he served in our military too. He was in Army, got a Purple Heart, and just the way he started in radio, and then I think in the early 50s, my dad would always talk about how that was one of the first voices that he ever remembers, being in the children's hospital. So it was always somebody that I kind of migrated towards, which was super cool. And to do it for as long as he did was awesome.
All right, last ones. Jared.
Well, Sebastian just mentioned it in the comments. It's going to be Kevin Harlan. Just truly amazing voice on commentary, first of all. And just a way with words that he has to call everything. Super entertaining announcer. Great calls anytime there's a big moment in any game. Kevin Harlan's the man. In any sport, too. He calls football, baseball, basketball, everything.
All right, and finish it off. Jabba.
We actually referenced one of his sayings, I think Chris Berman, in the way that he, kind of, I love obviously the way he on SportsCenter, and I've actually, the way that I got introduced to him was in a steakhouse in Baltimore. We were both peeing and we kind of looked at each other, and I was like, hey, he's like, hey, I go, this is weird. So that was my Chris Berman story, but just how he made it cool, how he had just kind of that personality, and how he's done it for so long, and continues to stay around and does. I mean, there's so many that have catchphrases and all that, but I think SportsCenter coming up and how long he's done it, he's one of the best that there is.
I met Chris Berman at a buffet line.
That's dope.
That's how I met John Sterling, actually, exact same way, at a buffet line. 'Cause I coached his son. He was my third string JV quarterback one year.
He was putting a lobster on his plate,
Oh.
and I look back and I'm like, is that Chris Berman? And I'm like, how's the lobster, Chris? And he says, I'm getting my seconds right now.
He went back online.
Oh, he went back on something, man, because he was buttering that motherfucker. Excuse
Wait,
my language.
guys, how did we not bring up Howard Cosell in this one?
Yes.
I thought that was going to be too easy to have. Like, 'cause I was like, I brought up Muhammad Ali, and that was another one, and then obviously, but.
And
How about
the other one
Nance?
was Marv
Marv
Albert.
Albert.
Was the other one I would
Marv
have brought
Albert.
up.
How about Nance? Nance is pretty good.
I was gonna say
Hello, friends.
Al Michaels. Like if we were gonna do duos, like that, I was
Madden.
him and Madden. I would have been like, oh, that'd have been good.
Duos is a good one. I'll remember that for next time.
Yeah.
All right, Errol, who's going on to face you in the last
close.
round?
Pick Jared. He's the intern. Keep him around.
All right, Jared, let's go.
Jarrett, why don't you pop in and pop out, see if we get that camera working real quick as we set up. Everyone else, come back in for the last round where we're gonna vote on who's going to be.
Errol, I
the
was gonna
next
try and homer you too, and maybe throw in a Bob Shepard.
Bob
Yeah,
Shepard.
probably.
I was actually leaning that way with how I
If you pick Bob
introduced
Shepard, I can't lie. I'm taking you. So.
I know it was like, and that I will say that's one of the coolest things ever. Like with playing like toward like the beginning of my career was towards the end of all these like great like Vin Scully announced my name, Bob Shepard, Charlie Steiner. Like it was really cool. Like going back as a kid that like listened to all these guys, and then actually have a chance like, or like on Sports Center like have these dudes talk about like a highlight or something. It's like. I thought it was stupid back then, but now the more like the older I get is like, wow, that was really cool that they like they have no idea who the hell I probably was, but like to have them like mention your name like in a highlight is super, super cool.
All right, here it is. Round 3. Take on the king. Best moments.
Come on, Jarrett.
In sports history. When I say moments, you can't tell me the score of a game or anything like that. Just something that happened in a game. Maybe not even in a game, some kind of moment that's indelible throughout the history of modern sports. I think this is a fun topic, very open-ended, boys. Let's get it going. Errol, as the king, do you want to go first or second?
I want to go first.
All right, go ahead, Errol.
How could you forget this one? Miracle on Ice. Who doesn't forget that one when they beat Russia or the Soviet Union, the unstoppable Soviet Union, and the goal heard around the world. It was, and then just the last 2 minutes of the game, how they kept the Soviet Union from scoring that goal to tie the game. It was amazing. It's one of those things that you'll always remember. I'm going Miracle on Ice.
Jared.
I alluded to it earlier. I'm going to go with the Gibson home run in the World Series. Walking up to the plate as a pinch hitter with 2 bad knees. The only chance that they had was him hitting a home run. He could not run the bases. Maybe the most clutch moment in all sports history. So the Kirk Gibson pinch hit home run in the World Series.
Errol.
I'm going to go with Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. I mean, Jackie Robinson was one of the more influential guys that really stood out in baseball history and really changed the barrier and opened up the floodgates, and a guy that stood for everything. Good guy, and his wife still pushes everything that he stood for in baseball and what he's done on and off the field. So I'm going Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier.
Jared.
I'm gonna go with the 28-3 comeback in the Super Bowl. Maybe it's because I'm a Falcons hater through and through, but it's really just a remarkable moment and just watching, the greatest of all time just take a game away.
What was your first one?
Rip away a Super Bowl.
The
Kirk Gibson home run.
Okay.
All right, let's go for our last picks. Errol.
Come on. Everybody knows this story. Shot heard around the world. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we all know Bobby Thompson. I watched a Harry, what was it? I forget what movie it was with Bette Midler and Billy Crystal, and the kid who couldn't remember anything, and Billy Crystal, it was his grandfather, and he was like sinking it in his head, and he went up there on the stage at the end of the movie and was mimicking everything that happened during that game and the home run. So I'm gonna go shot heard around the world.
All right, Jarrett, last one.
Okay. Let's go with the shot. Christian Laettner in the Final Four. Throwing the ball, Grant Hill, I believe. Was it Grant Hill? Throwing the ball, length of the court, catch at the free throw line, turn, shoot to win a game in the Final Four. One of the greatest plays in March Madness history of the tournament that has so many great plays and great moments to it. And that's still the one that stands the test of time. Is like, that's the one they show every single time.
Christian Laettner, what a guy that should have been an NBA player and just absolutely.
Dude was on the dream team.
Boy,
yeah, token on the dream team.
He had a great 97 with the Hawks.
Yeah, great one season.
What do you want me to throw up? I'm a Duke fan. I don't want to throw up.
So
let's go
through the
like
voting.
I Hate Christian Laettner doc?
I'm sorry?
Did you like the I Hate Christian Laettner doc?
It's not that I hate Christian Laettner. I don't think people give Bobby Hurley a lot of credit, Grant Hill a lot of credit, Coach K with those teams. Laettner was great, and Laettner had the personality to fit the person that he was. And I don't hate Christian Laettner. I just think that he should have been a much better NBA player. He choked, and there was a lot of pressure on him, and he couldn't handle the pressure when he came into the NBA. So,
well, either way, I'm going with the voting here. So I'm scoring this 2-1 in favor of Errol. I liked Miracle on Ice and Jackie Robinson better than the Kirk Gibson homer and the Pats comeback. But I like the Laettner one better than the shot heard around the world. I wasn't alive for that one. I've read snippets. But the Laettner one I see forever and ever and ever. I agree. So I'm going 2-1 victory, though, for Errol. Let's go down the line. Let's go to Jabba.
Yeah, I'm going to go same one. Jackie Robinson probably put it over the edge. Just a moment in baseball history that is forever synonymous with one of the greatest ever. I do love the Laettner one, though, too. But, yeah, Jackie was just a little bit big.
It's literally, I teach the Miracle on Ice and Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in U.S. history class. So that's how important those two things are. I would say it's going to be hard to beat stuff like that. Speedy, how you going?
Yeah, I'm definitely going Errol. This one, Miracle on Ice was my number one. Shot heard around the world was kind of that first big walk-off you saw in World Series history, and it won them that. So, and Willie Mays was on deck, and as a rookie, it's funny to think that, but Bobby Thompson was the one that did it. I do like the Laettner one too. That might have been my third one if I was going for that too. But Jackie Robinson, obviously historical value, he would have to go with that as well.
And Sebastian, to round it out, explain your vote. I mean, I guess in a free country, you would not have to explain the vote, but this is some kind of whack-ass dictatorship that we're doing here.
Well, I think since Errol already has 3 votes, and I gotta stick with my boy Jared because he is an intern just like me. Us interns have to stick together. And I did like the Tom Brady pool. I was surprised that wasn't one of the first ones said in the first round. So I'm gonna go with Jared.
Gosh, would have been a clean sweep.
I'm sorry. I know. I hate to be the one to ruin it, but I also hate to be the guy that had the chance to go for Jared and not vote for him. So.
All right. Well, Errol, you are the king. The king stays the king. You know, everyone tried to take you down a peg. It wasn't gonna happen.
It's interesting, and I think Jared is one of the more knowledgeable guys that we've had as far as interns are concerned. His takes, even the Rock, you brought the Rock up. That was definitely out of the back.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was out of the pocket. I didn't expect that, and you're not wrong. I mean, as far as stars and the transition and what he's done in the industry, you're absolutely right. So that's why I gave you I would have probably picked you. I would have picked you in a way, shape, or form when it came to that anyways. So that's just my opinion. So congratulations. I thought that was your first final and very credible. I do think I swept you, but that's just me. I don't know what Sebastian's going over.
I think you did too. I hated my picks.
I
Every
was
time you
looking
name it, I
at,
was like, that's the one.
I was looking at Mike Phelps. That was something that really stood out. Tiger Woods.
I got one where you got the ball gets stuck to the helmet. There was this crazy play once upon a time. I don't know if you heard about it, Errol.
Yeah, I heard
Man.
about
I almost just to pander to y'all picked that.
Yeah, you probably would have. If Fish would have picked you if you did that. You would have been. I went away with that.
It's what it is. It's not about. It's not like I've only been a king once. I've been a proxy king once as well for Goody. But Jarrett, you just got to curry favor to the voters. That's what it's about. You've got to be a politician.
I don't curry any favoritism to anybody.
We know you hate Curry. I get it. I know you don't like any of that guy.
Sebastian, you'll learn very quickly. I don't hate Curry. Why do you guys say this?
Come on.
I don't hate him. I think he's a great player. He is a great player.
All right, so get a Curry jersey and wear it next show.
I'm not doing it. I do have a Curry jersey, and I have worn it on this show.
No,
I have.
a
I made a
Curry jersey
mistake.
somewhere.
So I ordered a Curry. I ordered regular Warriors.
So wear it.
And they gave me a Curry jersey, so I wore the Curry jersey when it should have been my number and my name. And then I yelled at the company, and they were like, "Well, that's what we sent you, you little bastards. I'm never ordering nothing from you again." So that's the truth. I'm just telling the truth here, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, we call this, and you can join us too, Sebastian. We call this "What's That Smell?"
What's that smell?
Wow. You don't see that every day.
Double fisting.
I love that one. That's definitely something. If nobody knows what it is, I don't think Nathan knows what it is, but it's still good. Having him say these things. And
How many does he know that he's saying?
He says he knows them. I don't believe it because I've asked him what double fisting is, and he says, "You know what it is." I was like, "No, you tell me. What is it?"
How old is Nathan?
Nathan is 29, 30. He's 30 years old, I think. Yeah, he turned 30. Yep. 30 years old. Speedy's age.
So,
They're,
Sebastian, you've never been prepared for this, so we're not going to ask you to go right away or anything. If you want to join in, you can. How's he going to do it? He doesn't even know what it is.
You can pick a story. Listen, all you got to do is pick any story in
You act
sport.
like it's so easy.
It is easy. I don't even know where I'm going.
Yeah, but that's you.
Sebastian, I think you're a winner, and winners know how to do this. So show us and show Coach Fish that
Don't
you
listen to
are
him. Winners
a
prepare.
winner.
He's out of his
Sebastian,
mind.
don't worry about him. Let him spit out whatever he says.
There's never been a great winner that's not prepared. Look at all the great athletes. They all prepared. Thank you very much.
Not me.
What's the order, Errol?
All right. Sebastian, you can join if you want. It's okay. I'm going to go Speedy. I'm going to go Mr. Jarrett, Fish, Sebastian, if you want to do it. Jabba.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing, but I'll do it.
Just pick a story and tell us what it smells
Pick a
like.
story of like something you want to take a shot at, a team, a player, or anything like that.
It can be good or bad.
Good or bad.
So for example, I'm going to go with
using my new interns. Abuse.
the saga of Bill Belichick's college season still not going very well, and there's many different layers to it too. But the most recent one is David Hale was the ESPN insider that said multiple anonymous offensive coordinators saying that Bill Belichick does not understand the RPO and motion offenses in college football you see today. Even these group of 5 schools that have these lesser-known coaches, these obviously lesser-known teams, are calling Belichick out on it. Meanwhile, you also have a documentary by Hulu that already got canceled that is going to be pushed to the end of the season, where you want to see Bill Belichick's track record of how awful this season has been. And to make matters worse, UNC alum and new Patriots quarterback Drake May was banned from anything involving the documentary, just to play some petty wars at that. So what does it smell like? It smells like Robert Kraft in his spa, smoking some of that pink cocaine that Stephon Diggs is smoking, and then making out with Jordan Hudson's mother.
Droba, ass liquor.
All right, Sebastian, we're just going to let you know that Speedy, his what's it smell like always goes to a different atmosphere. So don't try to live up to that, because you'll notice that ours, what it smells like, is way not that.
Job, I like my shrimp cocktail.
Mine's short. Mine's actually a good one this week.
He likes them short, very short.
Dog, tall. I was gonna.
Well,
do
you're
a
you're second to
a
last.
5'10.5" joke, but I'll let it go.
Yeah, I figured you would go that route.
Suck my Indo.
That's what I always say.
Athletes. Joba is not an athlete.
All right, who's up? Jarrett?
Yeah,
Is it me?
it's Jack.
I'm not going to talk about Ja because I fear that's not good for my health right now. Instead, this was kind of brought to my attention by the basketball coach at the school I work at. There are a lot of professional athletes, guys with professional experience overseas or even in the States that are currently playing college basketball. Short list here, I got Elias Camardine, who played professionally in France on the top level of French basketball last year as a rotational guy. He's at Ole Miss right now. Neoklis Avdalis played at one of the top Greek clubs last year. He played in the EuroLeague itself for last 4 years. He's only 19, but he's been a professional for 4 years. He's playing at Virginia Tech. And this worst one is this guy, London Johnson, who committed to Louisville recently. He played 4 years in the G League. He was playing professional, technically NBA level basketball, and is somehow playing college basketball now because he's technically only 21 years old, so he still counts and he hasn't played NBA. What's it smell like? Because so many of these guys come from France, it smells like the French stinky cheese Epoisses, which is currently banned on public transport because it smells so bad.
Damn, that you sounded French when you said that.
I practiced.
Oh,
all day.
you sounded French. You sounded French. That's the
French?
That is definitely the Nebraska. French. Yeah, I had to add that. I just had to.
All right, I'm going to stay with basketball.
Carl plays with himself.
It's too bad Goody's not here. This one was really for him and his Orlando Magic. Guard Desmond Bain was ejected in the third quarter against the Hawks. Flagrant foul on Okongwu. Basically, what happened? Play going back and forth. He has to go up against a center. He pulls him down by the arm, and as he's going down, the ball pops up. He takes the other hand and palms the ball and spikes the ball on Okongwu as he's going down to the floor. He gets ejected. He loses his mind. And this is his approach afterwards. Hard foul. I mean, we talk about that. No easy baskets. Nothing at the rim. Make them see lights on the ceiling and hard foul. I swiped at the ball and it happened to hit him and they made the call they made. I love this guy. I would be so happy if Desmond Bain was on my team. It reminds me of the Bane from the Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises, who thought darkness was his ally.
Oh my God!
Well,
One of my favorite Grizzlies ever.
What does it smell like? Well, in that darkness, it smells like the crap you get when you're walking home in the dark with your dog and you stepped in something and you get that whiff as soon as you first whiff when you step in the house and you know what you have to do and spend the next 15, 20 minutes cleaning. That's what it smells like.
Finkel is Einhorn.
All right, Sebastian, you want to go for it? You want to knock it out of the park? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, I'll try my best. I mean, I would have liked to have a little bit of back research on it, but no, I'm good. But I'm gonna wing it. Let's go. So I'm gonna go. I'll talk about someone that we mentioned earlier today, Mr. LeBron James. He's been out this season with an injury on his own. The Lakers are 6-2 right now. Actually, they're playing the Spurs currently as we are live right now. They are 6-2 without him. There's rumors that they're starting to move without his knowledge because, as we all know, LeBron likes to meddle in the front office. He likes to meddle with the roster. He likes to pick and choose his team. So now the Lakers see that they can be ballers without LeBron. Can LeBron stay with the Lakers throughout the season? Will he ask for a trade? That's my story that I've been following. What does that smell like? Man, It smells like LeBron's time is up, man. It smells like his time is up.
That's good.
You went with the right angle.
Yeah.
That's good.
That was really good.
Appreciate it.
I thought you were gonna say like the garbage with all the wasted food at Bronny's Sweet 16s, something or other. But
The
nice
best
job,
was in this game. Bronny tried to guard Wembanyama, and he literally Wembanyama bodied Bronny up.
I gotta go find that.
That's saying a lot.
All right, I think you're up, Java.
Mine's a good one, and I think obviously we usually go on the smelly side, and then the really integral, deep-thoughted, smelly side with Speedy. But I thought something was really cool. It's never been done in sports, where a father and a son called a World Series for the first time ever, and Dan Shulman and Ben Shulman, and radio and TV, and they got to do it together for the first time ever. Father and son, you can say that that's never been done, and something that your kid gets into a profession that you always do, and then you end up getting to do a World Series with him. So what's that smell? That smells like hard work, dedication, and being, as a father myself, a damn proud dad to be able to work alongside your son and call something. They didn't go their way, but had to be a proud moment as a father to watch that and see it and get a call a game on the booth next to him for where you're from and to see it all in front and through your son's eyes and your own eyes, which is pretty cool.
I got to go back off now.
All right. And now my what's that smell? I has to go to a surprise game on Sunday, and a fine. It wasn't a suspension. It was a fine. Carolina Panthers running back Rico Dowdle was fined by the NFL for his actions during a touchdown celebration in Sunday's 16-13 upset of the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Dowdle announced the fine via social media on Wednesday night. He also posted he has partnered with GoFundMe to use his fine money for charity. And his agent came out and said the fine was $14,491.
See, that's the stupidest thing ever. Where did this number come from?
I don't know. Yes, I got to go. We got to reach out to his agent, David Kant. Maybe he'll tell us. I have no idea. But it from one bad thing turns into good. And I love what Dowdle, the fact that he is taking the bad and putting it into good for a GoFundMe, for people in charity. I think that's a great story. So you know what it smells like? It smells like Beatty's mothball sweater getting sprayed down with some Axe spray and giving it a better scent, because man, oh man, it has a horrible grandmother smell to it. So that's what it smells like. So you like that, Speedy? Sure. Do you want me to get you some Axe spray? I mean, I'm going to get you.
You can get him something better than Axe. Come on.
Why? I'll give him cologne, but he's never going to wear it.
I have cologne.
Well, spray it down, man. It smells like mothballs. You do look good in that white shirt. I can't lie to you. I mean, that is mine. You can't steal that. You can have it.
That's the extra medium?
No, actually, it's an extra large. So I wear extra large T-shirts. So just so you know. Anyways, that Rico Dowdle story was just obnoxious for the NFL to do something to a player that's one of the hottest plays right now in football. And he's
supposed to have 2 pumps. You're supposed to be able to do 2 pumps, not 3. He only gave 2, and they fined him. That's wrong.
It doesn't make any sense. But, it's the NFL. And that's why he's using it for good. And I like that by Rico. And boy, oh boy, are the Cowboys shaking their heads, because this guy is becoming a star under a new tutelage. So I like it. I like the story. It's a good one. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for all the fans. Thank you to our new intern, Sebastian, for joining us and giving his take. I mean, look at that. I mean, home run with what's that smell? I can't lie to you. Thank you to former 14-year NBA referee and author of the book that we've been promoting, Personal Foul, Tim Donaghy, for joining us. He was fantastic. He really gave us his take. it was a great get, and I thought it was a great interview. It really was. It was sensational. He really gave us what we were looking for, and he wants to knock out David Stern. If David Stern was still alive, that would be something I would set up. I would be the referee of that match. I would love it. And then I asked him if he was the judge of this particular case with Chauncey Phillips, Mr. Rozier and Mr. Jones, what would you do to him? And you heard what he said. You got to listen to the interview if you want to know what his thoughts was to that. I don't think he's ever had a question like that before. And it was pretty funny. And he actually smirked. I got him to smirk. He straight face the whole time. I finally got him to smirk. So that's a good thing. So, and he'll come on the show again. I'm going to get his book and I'm going to read his book and we'll go ins and outs of the book. It was a great show. Thank you to all the fans following us on Spotify and Apple, and obviously YouTube. We're growing on all the social medias. We're on Reddit too, Job in the Mouth, and we have all our stories on Reddit right now, and it's actually growing. It's really, really good. Go check out my stories. My Joel Embiid story is sensational. I'm not lying to you. It's funny. It's definitely my humor. If you like the humor on the show, you definitely have to read the stories. They are funny. I put a lot of time into it, so you definitely get the personality part to it. And Schaefer, if you're an Islander fan and you want to hear my beanbag thoughts to John Tavares, you definitely got to read that story as well. Speedy was laughing to it the whole time. Speedy, you like that one, right? Speedy? Yeah. Well, speak up, man. What's wrong with you? You have a thumb up your ass?
I'm trying not to spoil it for them.
Well, they got to read it.
They have to read it. Yeah.
They got to read it. And anyways, it's been a great one. Speedy, who do we have on Monday?
All right, returning to the show is the daughter of Jack Burke, who we just had on last week, in Allie Burke. She is a singer. She's a pop singer. And
Can we get her to sing on the show?
You can try.
I mean,
definitely try.
Could I be her backup singer?
So, Jabba, the last time we had her on was before you were with us. She actually has sang the national anthem at many different MLB ballparks, and coming up November 16th,
Buffalo Bills.
She'll be singing at the Buffalo Bills game.
Cool. Yeah, cool. And Allie's first of all, she's a big Josh Allen fan, so this is something that she's probably going to be like, oh, like I would too. Yeah, I mean, if I was a Josh Allen fan, I am a Josh Allen fan, by the way, but I did get a jersey. I can't lie to you guys, but tonight I'm a Danny Dimes fan, as Danny D is rocking all night long. Speedy, sing it all night long. Come on, sing it, Speedy. Come on.
All night long.
That's the best. I mean, who could? Oh, there you go. A little rat attack right there, baby. Delicious, edible, and I don't know why he has his tongue out. I don't know why. And my face is like deformed. Like, what the hell is that? Am I growing like
that's good. That's a good one.
That's pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah, it's really close.
My face is not deformed. Come on.
It's a cartoon version of you.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not a big fan of it. So, but you can.
That one's fantastic.
Well, thank you, Jabba. Because it's not some bald head, 6'3", beluga whale. I'm just kidding. Anyways.
Give me that chicken curry.
I could use some chicken curry right now or something because I'm pretty hungry. And maybe Applebee's.
You would never eat chicken curry.
No,
never.
I wouldn't. No,
never.
No.
Do you want to jerk me off?
Well, definitely not, Nathan. And that's probably what.
Did you say, is Applebee's open by you?
Yeah, it is. 100%. It's open. What time is it, Speedy?
11:30.
Yeah, we're good. We can make it. But yeah, thank you to the fans. Anything on Wednesday?
Yes, we do have 8:45. I don't know if you faced him, Jabba. He was a little came in the league a little after you joined. Logan Morrison, yes, he played with the Marlins, the Mariners. I think you might have faced him maybe in the American League later on with the Rays as well. So maybe you faced him a little.
He's an interesting bird.
Yes. Aren't we all?
No, he's there.
No. So let's bird away. Speedy, give me a one sound before we go. Give me like a bird sound. Give me a nice bird sound.
Oh, that's a good one. Solid right there. Wow. That was good, Speedy.
That was. I'm losing myself. I might have lost some something probably popped a little bit. You know, a little turtle head. Anyways, that's it for our show. We'll talk to you next week. Good night, everybody.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.